It's Friday night baseball, game 2 between the Melbourne Aces and the Adelaide Giants. We're here at the first base VIP area at Melbourne Ballpark. Great place to watch a game. This is the Brick Lane pregame show. I'm Ed Wyatt. He's Max Tanzer, the voice of the Melbourne Aces. Max, last night's 6-3 win by Adelaide put them into the postseason. The Aces still have some work to do if they're going to make the playoffs.
Yes, Melbourne very fortunate that Brisbane beat Canberra 1-0 yesterday. The only run in that game was scored on a double play. So the Aces start today exactly where they were yesterday, just with 3 less games to play, tied with Canberra for the 4th and final playoff spot, 1 game back of Perth. Essentially, look at it like this. The Aces have to outplay either one of those teams by 1 game with 3 to go.
I'm going to be having my Sydney and Brisbane hats on, rotating that through the innings tonight. Tough night yesterday for the Aces pitchers. 15 hits given up, 6 runs. Going to be a big task for Joey Steele on the mound tonight.
Definitely making his 3rd start since being added to the rotation. A big reason for that was the Aces have had so much fluctuation in their pitching staff this year. One of the key reliable arms for them this season, though, was Sean Moramondo, who unfortunately won't be able to pitch this weekend due to his new contract in the CPBL, but he's still sticking around here in the ballpark cheering on his guys. We spoke to him about that, his 2024-25 season with the Aces, and more. Second go around here in the Australian Baseball League. You were with Canberra a handful of seasons ago. Now you're with the Aces here. What was your overall perception of your season here with Melbourne?
Yeah, it was awesome. Having the chance to come to Melbourne, could have played for the Aces this winter. It's been great. It's been a great atmosphere, environment, from the coaching staff to the trainers, to the players. It's felt really good. It's been a good time.
Is there anything specific that you're able to work on and kind of develop or bring back? I know this was your first season since Tommy John surgery for a full year of pitching. What was the biggest takeaway for you?
Yeah, for the most part, I needed innings, because I was limited, with the recovery and coming back. But while being here, really working on my changeup, my curveball, my cutter, my fastball, kind of everything, and just revamping it to really make it sharp and crisp. I think week by week, every bullpen, every time, just having a real focus on my stuff, and getting it back to where I know it can be and where it is right now. I feel really confident about where it's at, with all my pitches and really working on the details of it, and competing at the end of the day.
And then understandably, because of the new contract in the CPBL, you couldn't pitch this weekend, but you've stayed. What was so important for you to stay with this team for the final round of the year?
Yeah, I think it's being here and having support for the guys. I'm here for the boys and the team and just enjoying it. I'm not ready to go home yet. I still have about a few weeks before I have to be in Taiwan. So to have this weekend to kind of watch some baseball, watch them play, and be there for the teammates, support these guys, I think it's important.
I think that displays a ton of leadership, which I think on the field, off the field, was a role that you played this year. Obviously, you've pitched at so many elite levels in terms of baseball. Was that a role you enjoyed playing for this locker room?
I'm more of a quiet leader, I would say. I just kind of lead by example. I'm just trying to, make sure I get my work in and be professional, and kind of help the other guys, if they need it or not, but we're all professionals here, in our own right. And just kind of being one of the team, I'm not really a vocal person, but, I love having conversations and stuff. So it's just being one of the guys at the end of the day.
Once again, Sean Moramondo, what a professional he is. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be the newest Fubon Guardians fan in the CPBL. He begins his season with them in just a couple of months. I'll tell you what, though, Ed, back to this Adelaide Giants team. Even though they clinched yesterday, they still have some stuff to play for.
Yeah, they do. They're not going to give up, that's for sure. They have an outside shot at finishing first, but certainly can clinch home field advantage by finishing second. So with their big bats, with their experience, with their hunger, don't expect them to lay down at all. It's going to be a tough task.
It's round 10 of the ABL regular season, game 2 of this 4-game set. The final fireworks night here at Melbourne Ballpark in the regular season should be a good one. Giants and Aces coming up right after this.
Back at the track, kiss it goodbye. Puts it out to left field. It's got Carey. Ray is back. See you later. Daryl George gives the Aces the lead. It's 3-2, and that's not preparing. Work is back. He leaps, and he makes the catch. Oh! Center field is deep. Simmons it back at the track. It is gone. Oh! History for Greg Bird. His third homer of the night. He charges this one up to left field. Back is Kennelly. He can only watch. It's gone. Jared Dale picks up his second. Swing, and this one set in the air. Deep right field. Campbell back. Track. Wall. It's off the wall. Greg Bird wins it for the Aces. 5-4 and 9. Out of room here at Melbourne Ballpark. Not a seat to be found here on this Friday night as the Aces play host to the Adelaide Giants. Max Tanzer here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. As you can see on your screen, it's a beautiful evening here at Melbourne Ballpark, and we are expecting the biggest crowd of the season in the thick of the playoff race. Ed, the Adelaide Giants with their 6-3 win yesterday clinched their postseason spot. The Aces on the outside looking in, trying to gain some ground with 3 games to go.
Yeah, best case scenario, Aces win tonight. Brisbane beats Canberra. Sydney beats Perth. That is the best scenario. From there, we work backwards. Aces win, Canberra lose, maybe Perth wins, who knows. But really, really important game because as we mentioned yesterday, Max, we're running out of time. There's tonight, there's Saturday, and there's Sunday, and that's it. And the Aces need to make up some ground.
Yes, Canberra will be playing Brisbane. Sydney and Perth play tonight as well. They have a doubleheader to make up not playing yesterday on top of that. Let's take a look at our weather for this ball game tonight, brought to you as always by Vibrant Services. As you can see, blue skies above, 19 degrees, a little bit chillier than last weekend, but still very warm at the ballpark today. Winds at 21 kilometers per hour, Ed.
We have to keep an eye on the wind. We do talk about that a lot, but it's because it affects this ballpark in so many different ways. Yesterday, a couple of fly balls lost. Wind, I would say, similar to last night, maybe not as strong.
Well, there's that big crowd. Let's take a look at the starting lineup they will watch tonight. First for the home side in the Melbourne Aces. Leading things off in center field, Aaron Whitefield, 1 hit away from 300 in his ABL career. Jared Dale follows behind him. He had 3 hits yesterday, leads the league in hitting at a .375 mark. Robbie Glendening will look to bounce back after a tough night yesterday. He bats third and right. Greg Bird, as always, cleans things up at first base. Daryl George at third, bats fifth. He had a really good series against Sydney last weekend. Morgan McCullough, a 3-hit game for him yesterday as well. He has been unstoppable. He plays second. Logan Moore, after DHing yesterday, gets the start behind the plate to bat seventh. Jared Belbin into the starting 9 for the first time this weekend. DHs and bats 8th, and Chris Burke will round out the 9 in left field. As we discussed, right-hander Joey Steele getting the nod for the Aces here in Game 2 of this 4-game set, his 3rd start of this season. There's Maverick getting the fans fired up here at the ballpark. Ed, this is an Aces lineup that still was pretty productive yesterday, but again, missed a couple of big opportunities. On the other side, it was Adelaide who really took advantage of some mistakes on the Aces side. Let's introduce you to their starting lineup, announced by manager Chris Adamson. Nick Ward leads things off at third base. He was 2 for 6 with 2 runs batted in. Liam Spence at shortstop, riding a 4-game hit streak. That's right behind him. Jared Carr, who's riding a 14-game hit streak, bats third in center field. Rickson Wingrove will clean things up at first base. Jordan McArdle had a good day yesterday, bats fifth in the DH spot. Nico Holzheiser gets his first start since round 8. He'll get the nod in left field. Briley Knight bats seventh and right. Mikael Puaka Grego at second base bats eighth, and Lewis Albrecht gets the start behind the plate. Rounding up the 9, James Bradwell, who's had a really good season, gets his 4th start of the year on the mound for the Giants.
James Bradwell, just in doing our research, in the Frontier League this year, Max, he was 12-0 with a 2.72 ERA for Quebec, won the league and was pitcher of the year, and he's kind of kept that going in the Australian Baseball League.
Oh, he's been fantastic this year. It's been a unique year for him, too. Started out in the bullpen in a bulk role, and now a starter over the last 3 rounds for Sydney. Well, there's a look at Daryl George, and then Joey Steele jogging out onto the mound, getting ready to go for his 4th, make that 3rd start of the year, 12th appearance, a 2.84 ERA for Joey. 19 innings of work, 17 strikeouts. Again, a guy who we talked to last week about the transition to the starting rotation. He said he really hadn't been in a legitimate starting role since his high school days. While the Aces, they've had a couple of losses in their roster just due to contractual situations, players having to head back home or to their respective organizations for the 2025 regular season, opened up a spot for him to start, and he's done very well, Ed, in his 2 previous starts on the bump.
Can you imagine that? Not really starting since high school and then getting thrown into a professional environment like this. He's done really well. It's a lot of pressure on him. The pitching has been a real issue for the Aces, as you mentioned. Some guys not healthy, some guys having to leave, and that's been a real tough scenario for the Aces. And we just have to, fingers crossed, Joey can do well and the Aces can eradicate some of those mistakes. 6 errors in that game yesterday, Max.
Absolutely.
6 errors total.
4 on the side for the Aces.
Yeah.
That's the most they've committed in a game this year, and really it was early on to that game which set the tone. Adelaide took an early 2-0 lead, and then all of a sudden Aces were able to climb back, but then 4 unanswered by the Giants to conclude the rest of that one. Well, the Aces 17-20 on this season, tied for 4th in the ABL standings. Meanwhile, Adelaide 21-16, a game and a half back of Sydney for 1st, and they are knocking on the door of clinching at least the 2nd seed, which would ensure home field advantage in the 1st round of the finals. Well, we're just about ready to get this one going. A Friday night here in Melbourne. The sun is shining bright. This stadium is absolutely packed, and playoff implication baseball is ready to go. Here's Nick Ward, the 3rd baseman, to lead things off for Adelaide. Steele toes the rubber. Just about set to say play ball here at Melbourne Ballpark. Steele ready to go. Here's his first pitch of the night on the way. Popped up behind home plate, and we are underway. Strike 1, 0-1.
If you look at Steele on the mound, you can see that jersey fluttering in the wind. So they're clearly going, apparently, from right field to left field. There you can see that jersey rippling. So definitely wind playing some part tonight. We'll figure out what that is as the game goes on.
It's always going to be a factor. It's just a matter of what direction it's blowing.
Yeah, it is, and I don't think anyone's complained about our weather talk, but this is a ballpark that is severely impacted by the wind, the velocity as well as the direction.
Right, and for those who aren't familiar with Melbourne Ballpark, it's a small stadium in terms of dimensions. 1-1. Popped foul, 1-2. It's 300 feet down the left field and right field lines, and just 370 feet to straightaway center field. But don't let that fool you. It's hard to get the ball out here because of that wind and its unpredictable nature. Steele ahead 1-2. He's given the Aces 4 innings in each of his first 2 starts. Tossed a season-high 63 pitches his last time out against Sydney. Down low, count evens up at 2-2.
Already, you can see the quality of a leadoff hitter in Nick Ward working this at-bat, first at-bat of the game, and it's just working Steele very well.
Game number 35 for him, hitting at a .268 clip, leading the team with 7 homers. 2-2. Driven high and deep out to right. Glendening watching. Is it going to stay fair? Yes, it will. A leadoff homer for Nick Ward in Adelaide with a convincing start here early on in Melbourne.
Well, what did I say? Quality batter, quality baseball player. Adelaide's full of them, and they take advantage. That's a great way to start if you're an Adelaide Giants fan.
3rd homer steals allowed this year. The 8th of the season for Ward adds to his team-leading total as we get another look. Pitch up in the zone, and he took care of it.
Just swatted that.
Yeah. It's just a matter if it was going to stay fair or not, and it snuck inside that pole. Probably went over the pole out there in right. First pitch to Spence. It's taken up and in, ball one.
That's when we needed the wind blowing left to right, not right to left.
Oddly enough, that's the first homer in this series. 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. 9 runs yesterday, not one long ball. Just a lot of traffic on the base paths. Well, Steele will look to settle in here. 1-1. Popped up. This one's going to stay in the yard. Dale, the shortstop, out, and is Whitefield who's going to take it. It's Dale or Whitefield. It drops as they both collide, and that'll be a double here with nobody out. And now the attention turns to Whitefield and Dale. We know Whitefield has been nursing a knee the last couple of weeks here, and hopefully he's okay.
We saw that down the left field line last night with Dale and Burke, so there's clearly some communication issues going on. I know the wind's tricky, but, someone's got to take charge of that, Max.
I think ideally if they had another opportunity, that's Whitefield's ball because he's coming in on it. It's a tough one for Dale, but it is not too far out of the infield, and Dale had time, so you can understand why he was ready to take it. Tough break for the Aces. That was the story yesterday. Defensive miscues that Adelaide took advantage of. Here's Jared Carr. First pitch is up and away, ball one.
The good news is it seems like Aaron's okay. I know the wind's tough, no doubt about it. It makes it very difficult. Hard to hear, I'm sure, when you're trying to call somebody off.
1-0. Down low, 2-0.
Now we're going to have to wait and see whether that's a hit or an error, Max. Yesterday it was kind of flip a coin territory for the most part.
Yeah, 6 errors in that ballgame.
Crazy.
Most we've seen in the game this year from an Aces contest. Hitters count toward the 2-0. Well up and away, 3-0.
And to be honest, that's probably about as many errors as you and I make in broadcast. So, we probably make 6 at some point.
Maybe talking about yourself. Yeah.
Oh, we probably throw a few. All right, maybe not 6.
Well, now listeners are going to start counting them up. Put us in the hot seat.
No.
3-0. This one sent in the air to right. It's going to stay in the yard. Glendinning camps underneath it. This one way up there. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. There's a big out, number 1. Makes way to Rickson Wingrove now. That was something for Jonathan Tripp yesterday. He ended up allowing 4 runs, 3 of them earned through 5 innings of work. But when you look at that line, it doesn't tell the exact story again. He, I think, did a very good job. It was just a couple of defensive miscues that extended innings for him, prevented him probably from getting deeper into that ball game. Wingrove was 2 for 4 yesterday, doubled in a run as well. Game number 34 for him, has played in essentially every one since coming back from the Premier 12 tournament. That one misses down low for ball 1. Hitting .268 with 4 homers to his name. One of the Team Australia constants. 1-0.
He's also got that central casting baseball look.
He does,
He just looks like a ball player.
He's got the mustache, too.
With the haircut, the size.
He looks like a first baseman. Of course, that's where he plays.
Correct. Yeah, you're right.
Got a fun swing, too. So much pop in that bat. 2-0. Strike called at the knees, 2-1. By the way, Takayuki Ichikawa calling balls and strikes. Neil Douglas at first. Koki Suzuki at second. And Tom West, calling balls and strikes yesterday, man's third.
I did a pretty nice job last night, Max, to be honest.
I did, too. I avoided the controversy,
Yes.
which is priority number 1, I'm sure, for this crew. Sometimes it's unavoidable. 2-1 now. Breaking ball, bends in, 2-2.
That's a nice pitch from Joey right there.
Something we talked about for Joey in his last start that was in game 1 of the doubleheader versus Sydney last Saturday is that with his reliever background, he's not used to, 1, facing the lineup multiple times, but 2, throwing over 50, 60, maybe even 70 pitches. This one popped up, everything in the air so far. Dale taking all the time he needs as this one plops into the mitt, 2 away.
That one brought rain, didn't it?
It did.
Wow. It was up there forever.
These
I wasn't
pop-ups
sure it
of
was
fly balls
coming down.
have been magnetized towards the sun as it starts to set. My goodness, even the homer from Ward to lead off the game was up there for an eternity. 2 away now for Jordan McArdle.
I see on the scoreboard they've noted that is an error.
So
I'm
we'll
not
be
sure if that's 9 or 8 or 6.
we'll get the official ruling.
Can you give an error to 2 though?
I
Share
don't
it?
think so.
Just share
I
the
don't
errors?
think so. I think 1 is assigned it. That's an interesting thought, though.
Half an error, like half a sack in the NFL.
You're right. There you
get
go.
half a sack. Give him half an error.
I like it. We're on to something here. 1 another count to McArdle.
Call Rob Manfred.
Yeah, right.
Get him on the line.
That is an E6 on the shortstop, Dale, by the way.
Thank you.
1-0. Just a little bit inside, 2-0. But what we were discussing with Steele is the fact that these long innings are difficult for him.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for him in the immediate, but when you get later into this game, questioning how deep he can go. The Aces used a lot of arms in yesterday's contest. 4 out of the pen, 5 in total if you include Tripp. Hitters count for McArdle. Got to be careful here, the 2-0. Taken for a strike. Good spot on the inner edge, 2-1. Versus on the contrary, a guy like Estebenz and Jimenez last night. He was lights out, picked up the 9-out save. Struck out 6 of the 9 he retired, in fact. He's a guy who has starting experience in affiliated ball in a relief role, so he can go deep. Or at least is more accustomed to it. 2-2 now, a good backdoor breaking ball.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
Well, over 20 pitches in this inning for Steele. Spence takes his lead from second. He'll go on contact. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string. Got him for strike 3. Steele limits the damage to 1 after the leadoff homer from Nick Ward. 1 run, 1 hit, an error, and a runner left as we head to the bottom of the first. Aces coming to the plate for the first time tonight when we come back.
Daily promotions on all the major sporting. When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Ublinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out. Australia.
Back at Melbourne Ballpark. Look at that. Nothing like a burger at the yard. Look at this packed house. We're expecting the biggest crowd here in Melbourne Ballpark this season, and they're continuing to file in. I mean, it is as full as it can get so far, so I'm sure plenty of standing room tickets remaining to come in as well. Well, the Aces trail 1-0 after Nick Ward's leadoff home run that came to open up the first inning. Will be Aaron Whitefield to lead things off for the Aces against James Bradwell, and you mentioned the accolades earlier, Ed. He was fantastic in the Frontier League this season.
Pitcher of the year, 12-0. And also we'll have a new battery mate because we saw yesterday Luis Kaikuto injured himself while running. We thought it might have been a hamstring. He's out. And Louis Albrecht is in, 23-year-old from Seattle. We spoke with him before the game. He'll be doing the catching probably for the rest of the series. So thrust into the spotlight after that injury to Kaikuto.
Absolutely. For Bradwell, this will be his 10th appearance overall here in the ABL season. 4th start was moved to the rotation going into round 8 versus Perth. He's gone at least 5 innings in each of those starts. His most recent was versus Brisbane. Went 5 2/3, allowed 1 run. First pitch to Aaron Whitefield sails upstairs, 1-0. For Bradwell, a 2.97 ERA. Opponents in a 2.20 against the tall right-hander. 6'5", out of North Vancouver, Canada. 1-0. 1-1.
It's a great part of the world, North Vancouver. Beautiful. Had some friends living over there for a while.
Gorgeous.
Only downside is, wake up and maybe there's a bear or a cougar in your backyard.
Hey, if you like skiing or snowboarding, that's your spot, right?
Great part of the world, Vancouver.
Here's the 1-1. Popped up. Wingrove will watch it fly out of play. 1-2. A rare 0 for Aaron yesterday. He was 0 for 5. Now hitting .354, the best of qualified hitters in the ABL aside from the on-deck hitter, Jared Dale. One, 2. Down and away. County gets up to 2-2.
We got on with that error yesterday. We would just say, is that hit 300? Is that probably not? I think it'd be better if he gets hit 300, rips a double or a home run.
Right? Or an infield single, who knows? He's sitting on 299. 2-2. Sent out to right. Fairly deep. Knight has time. The wind picks it up and takes it towards the line. He makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. Well, Aaron retired. That brings up Jared Dale. Had a really good day yesterday. 3 for 5, a double, scored a run.
Yeah, he's just hitting so well. He and McCullough are just seeing the ball so well.
Yeah, McCullough was 3 for 3. Dale picked up his 4th 3-hit game of the year. Just had one of those last season. He has been in his best form as an ace this year as he takes down and away ball 1.
Yeah, he's had a tremendous season, no doubt about it.
Again, his .375 batting average, the best amongst qualified players. To be qualified, you have to have just over 3 plate appearances for every game played. Tap to the left side. Ward cutting across, throws over, 2 quick outs. Well, if the Aces are going to get things going, they're going to need those top 2 hitters to be in the form they've been the previous 9 rounds. They are really the table setters and the catalysts in this lineup for the middle of this order.
And Robbie Glendenning coming up here, coming off a night that he would want to forget, 0 for 5, 5 strikeouts. You just don't see that.
You don't. It's the first time in his ABL career he has struck out in 5 at-bats. Only happened one time in his affiliated career when he was with West Virginia, the A-ball affiliate at the time of the Pittsburgh Pirates. That was all the way back in 2017 as he did strike 1. Still having a really good year, though. 4 homers, 21 runs batted in. A 1. Yanked it outside. County gets up.
Don't know if they're watching at Sporty's Bar in Adelaide again. If they are, hope you're doing well. Drink responsibly. Have fun.
Absolutely. We appreciate you tuning in wherever you may be, no matter who you're rooting for. Even if you're just an ABL fan or a baseball fan in general, this is as good as it gets in terms of the playoff chase. Radwell ahead 1-2. 2-2. And the finals get kicked off next week. 2 rounds in the ABL postseason. Of course, Adelaide, they're clinching their 5th consecutive playoff appearance yesterday, looking for their 3rd straight title. 2-2. Just a little bit outside, 3-2. Good take from Robbie. He climbs into a full count after falling behind with 2 strikes. Greg Bird on tap. The Aces look to extend this inning here. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Scoots away from Albrecht. Glendenning jogs over. Albrecht completes the strikeout to end the inning. Aces go down 1-2-3 in the first. We head to the top of the second. It's 1-0 Giants here on Aces TV.
Welcome back to the ballpark. For over 30 years, Light and Easy has been making it easy for Aussies to lose weight, improve their health, and save time. Light and Easy takes all the guesswork out of healthy eating with over 100 delicious, nutritionally balanced meals for you to choose from. To find out how Light and Easy can help you, visit lightandeasy.com.au. Max, you are a Light and Easy expert. You know how good it is.
Absolutely. I mean, the players love it too. It's what they eat pregame and postgame, and so they're enjoying it. I mean, it's just the best thing you could ask for, especially for an athlete who's looking for a quick but healthy meal before the game.
Speaking of meals, look at that crowd out down the first baseline. Magnificent.
And then packed into the stands as well. Sun's still shining right on that third base side. I mean, the first base grandstands, which I think are the ones that everyone's trying to get early because it's on the Aces side and it's in the shade, were full 30 minutes before first pitch. Look at that standing room area, almost completely packed. Well, Joey Steele out for his second inning of work as Nico Holsizer leads things off. First pitch, breaking ball, misses inside, 1-0. Holsizer was not on the Adelaide roster for round 9 last week in Brisbane, but back with the team this week. 1-0. Strike called 1-1, and he has been really good for Adelaide this season. 29 games hitting .294, 6 homers, 18 runs batted in.
Played with Perth back in 2019-2020. Dodgers draft pick originally.
1-2. Spent last year in the Rays organization. Spent some time with AAA Durham.
Durham Bulls.
That's right.
I've been there.
Bull Durham.
I have a brick at the Durham Stadium.
No way.
My sister bought it for me. I had nothing to do with it.
Upstairs to it too. I wonder if Nico's seen it before.
Hey, there's Ed Wyatt's brick.
Yeah, Ed Wyatt. I like that. It's a good name. Count even at 2 here on Holsizer. He's got a fun name himself.
Indeed.
2-2. Swing and a miss. There's the breaking ball, and back-to-back strikeouts for Steele. This one starts the second.
Good pitch.
Curveball right there.
What did I say yesterday? We need some 3 up, 3 downs. Need
That's
some quick
right.
innings.
Adelaide was really good with 2 outs yesterday.
Yes.
6 hits. They reached base 9 times. A couple of walks and an error in those spots, too. First pitch. Riley Knight takes upstairs 1-0. I mean, John Diebel talked to us about it earlier in the day before the game yesterday, just about how with 2 outs, it seems like they can get them quickly a lot of the time, and then it's just one defensive miscue that opens up the floodgates. So the count evens up at 1-1. And we saw that a little bit yesterday. Again, there was some action early in innings 2 for Adelaide, but you're facing the 2 best teams in the league. You're in the final 2 rounds of the season. You can't give them any breaks, talking about Sydney last week and the Giants this week. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string. The changeups look good for Steele as well. 1-2. I mean, ultimately, if the Aces are able to pull this off and sneak into the playoffs, they're more than likely facing Sydney or Adelaide in the first round next week. 1-2. Old foul. Just a little bit out in front. Count still holds.
Yeah, you're right. And away from home.
Yes. Sydney is dominant at their ballpark, and Sydney as well, so you don't necessarily want to match up there, but 1-2, pulled the string, got him swinging. 3 consecutive tickets punched from Steele, 2 up, 2 down.
That's great stuff.
There's that changeup as you get another look, fading away from Knight. A little puppet master action from Steele right there. Well, we'll keep you updated with the scores around the league. Again, it's Brisbane versus Canberra. Aces fans will want Brisbane to win that one. And then it's Sydney versus Perth. And Adelaide would like Perth to win those just as much as the Aces would. Adelaide trailing the Sydney Blue Sox by a 1.5 for the first seed. Now, on the other hand, again, 6-team lead. There's so much going on with everyone playing each other. I guess at the same time, if Sydney won, then it helps the Blue Sox clinch the second seed. 1-0's popped up the first base line, out of play, into the packed grandstands. As the count evens up at 1. Off the roof. You can hear the oohs and ahs. It's one of my favorite things, especially here in Australian baseball. A ball goes up in the air in your direction, and for a lot of these fans, it's their first time or one of their first few times at a ballpark, and it's just cool to see the action come to you. 1-1 the count here on Puaka Grego. Pitch misses down and away. 2-1. And especially with a crowd as big as this one, it's not just the regulars here at the ballpark. Again, plenty of members come to almost every single game, if not all of them. A lot of, I'm sure, first-time visitors today. 2-1's a breaking ball in there for a strike. 2-2.
Steals look very sharp in this inning. I mean, you go back to the first inning, right? He gives up the leadoff home run. The second one should have been an out. There's a miscommunication between Dale and Whitefield. That should have been out number 1. So that inning was longer than it needed to be.
Just a little bit outside with the curveball. 3-2. Yeah, now 37 pitches for Joey. So I think the target right now is probably around 4 innings if you're John Beeble. And who knows, maybe after throwing 55-plus pitches in consecutive outings, maybe they could stretch him a little bit more. 3-2. Driven high and deep down the right field line. Glendening giving it a look, but it's well out of play. Out of the ballpark, in fact.
Yeah, it was hit well, just way ahead of it. So clearly foul, but good stroke from Grego.
He's hit a homer this year. It was 2 for 3 yesterday, a double and a walk as well.
Hey, look good.
3-2 again. Strike 3 called, froze him, and Joey Steele strikes out the side. In fact, he struck out 4 in a row. Get another look. Sizzling across the knees. 4 punch-outs for the Aces right-handers. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Giants.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Packed house tonight. Aces trail 1-0. Before the game, 2025 Elite Women and Youth Women's Victorian teams were presented with their official Team Victoria hats. They've been trialing for the last couple of months. Selections announced earlier this week. The Nationals, the 2025 Elite Women's and Youth Nationals, which I had a privilege of calling a few games last year. A lot of fun. A lot of talented women out there. That's at Melbourne Ballpark in April. Victoria, of course, looking to defend their Elite Women's crown. Max, that was a great event. Eric Bellner and I and a stack of incredibly talented women's baseball players called that. A lot of fun, a lot of young talent around this country, women's baseball.
It's amazing, Ed, and I think it's something that's super special, particularly here in Australia, just trying to grow the sport, but you have an opportunity to do it for both genders. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
A side of the game in America that's growing too. Here's Greg Bird, first pitch. Taken for a strike, 0-1. Bradwell out for his second inning at work. In fact, I think we did have a really special guest at the ballpark yesterday. 0-1. Strike called quickly 0-2 here on Bird. We had Janine Lesko, who was one of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League players, and the movie A League of Their Own was based off of her and many of her teammates.
Which we were talking about yesterday.
We were.
Wow.
And she was at the ballpark, of course, obviously with all the festivities before the game, very much involved in it. And I thought that was so cool, coming all the way from America, just to be a part of such a special moment. 0-2. Grounded softly and past Ward in the left. Greg Bird beats the shift, first hit of the night for the Aces.
Just hits it anywhere, doesn't he? Hit them where they ain't. That's a Greg Bird period.
Hey.
Unbelievable. Look at that shot.
It works.
Beautiful.
Had an RBI double against Sydney last week in similar fashion, just shooting it that way. Well, here's Darryl George, 1 for 4 yesterday. He is just 3 hits away from the second most in ABL history. He would tie Logan Wade with 2. He continues to climb up the leaderboards in every category you can think of offensively. First pitch. Upstairs with the fastball, 1-0.
Is he category for being a really good guy? He's going to be high up on that list, too.
Hey, that's important.
He's something. He's a special person.
It's the sneaky tool, I think. 1-0. Top of the zone, 1-1.
I say that, Max, but honestly, the guys in this league, you know, we do a lot of interaction talking with the managers and players from the other teams. You have to meet a jerk. You know, They're good guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's been one of the biggest impressions that's been made on me here. Up and away, 2-1. Not that in America people are not nice, but everyone is so friendly here. I love it. It honestly has made me feel so at home being so far away from America. And especially with players, they're always so welcoming, so approachable, willing to chat with you if you need anything. 2-1. Down low, 3-1 as George climbs into a hitter's count. George, I think, one of the most humble guys, too.
Yeah, you kind of almost want to say, Darryl, you can actually build yourself up a little bit. You're pretty good.
Very down to earth. 3-1. Inside ball 4.
Good at bat.
Didn't really even have to swing the bat. First and second, nobody out for maybe the hottest hitter in this lineup, Morgan McCullough.
They didn't have a walk yesterday, did they?
They did not.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
There you go.
John Diebel, the third base coach and manager for the Aces, currently delivering some signs, and we'll see if the Aces want to bunt. Meanwhile, the catcher, Louis Albrecht, going out in front of the plate to share some signs with his infield as well on a potential bunt.
Interesting debate, isn't it? McCullough's been as hot as anybody, so do you want to risk a bunt? I don't know. We'll see.
He's got really good back control, and with Ward in front of the bag at third and the shortstop Spence holding on Bird at second, there's a lot of room on the left side of the diamond. First pitch. Not bunting, instead takes a strike 0-1.
And the other thing is, you know, Bird doesn't have that great speed, so it could force a play at third if the bunt's not perfect.
Absolutely. Now, if Adelaide's not going with the wheeled play, and they might not this early in the game, it would be hard to get a force at third if McCullough bunted it in that direction.
That's true.
0-1. Swinging away and chops it to second. Puaka Grego double clutches, gets the force at second, and that's all they'll get. 4-6 fielder's choice. George retired on the play, Bird to third, and McCullough safe at first. The runners at the corners with one down for Logan Moore. So in a weird way, and sort of works like a sacrifice, double play is still in order with Moore coming to play.
A little bit of trouble there for Puaka Grego getting it out of his mid. I don't think they were going to get McCullough anyway because of his speed, but that certainly helped.
So Bird, the tying run 90 feet away. McCullough, really good speed at first, might be going to try and avoid a double play. First pitch, down low 1-0. We haven't seen the Aces really test Albrecht's arm so far in this series. But this is a really good spot for McCullough to run. 5 of 6 in his stolen base attempts so far this year. 1-0. Down low 2-0. Good spot here for Logan Moore. Moore was 1 for 4 yesterday, hitting a .159, looking to finish the season strong. Swing, and this one's belted. Get up, get out of here, and gone. Logan Moore gives the Aces a 3-1 lead with one swing of the bat.
Home run brought to you by Crew Fitness. He got all of that, Max. What a shot.
Home run number 2 for Moore, and that's got to feel good. A 2-run lead for the Aces. No question about it as well. Riley Knight, the right fielder, just turned and looked.
That's all he could do.
It's the first home run Bradwell's given up this year. First pitch is inside and low to Belvin. Well, we know now when Logan Moore gets a hold of one, they go a long ways, right? He said they come in bunches,
He
too.
did, yeah. Does this count as bunches? Hopefully.
1-0. Take it for a strike. Count evens up at 1-1. Belvin looking to break an 0 for 14 skid right here. 1-1. Strike called, 1-2.
That's a tough pitch, that one. Wow.
Sometimes you just gotta tip your cap. Tight breaking ball for Bradwell. Foul away. Look out. 1-2. All the fans will have to be on their feet tonight.
Sizzled over the grandstand there.
I'll tell you what, too, a lot of times there's some open seats where the ball just kind of drops in and then pops up in the air and someone makes a nice, easy catch. There's a lot of seats filled up tonight, so foul balls are going to be finding a lot of people here this evening.
Not many empty seats, and as we mentioned, packed along the first and third base lines as well.
2-2. Up and away, 3-2, and this is a much different James Bradwell in this inning. It was a 1-2-3 first where he was very efficient, and now he's falling behind multiple hitters, now at 32 pitches.
That's a good eye from Jared there.
3-2. Breaking ball, really good take on that one. Just held back on a breaking ball that backed up a little bit. Second walk of the inning allowed by Bradwell, and Belvin reaches.
You know, that shows me a lot, to be honest, because he's in a bit of a slump. He maybe would be tempted to swing at that, but that's a great eye from Jared.
We're going to see a meeting at the mound now. That's pitching coach Josh Tolles. No action to the Adelaide bullpen. Here's another look at the Logan Moore homer. Let's see where this pitch was. Oh,
could not have been put straighter down the middle, could it?
Hit that one off a tee, it looked like. And he knew it. This is going to be a good angle right here. Just up. Elevated, celebrate. Deep drive out to right center.
It's like batting practice.
Well, hopefully that gets him going. Of course, they got the crowd going here at Melbourne Ballpark. There's the Polaroid shot, of course. I'm sure that's a little bit of a relief for the Aces. You haven't had more than a one-run lead in this series so far. And looking to add on more here. Here's Chris Burke.
This bat for the Risers, Chris Burke.
Burke was 1 for 4 yesterday. This is game number 27 for him. Want to know, and it seems like Bradwell has thrown over or overthrown that fastball a couple of times in this inning. Maybe just trying to do a little bit too much. One out. Up and away, 2-0. And the Aces very patient here. Unlike yesterday, they knew that Lachlan Wells was a strikeout specialist, so they had to be aggressive. Maybe one of the reasons why they didn't draw a walk. Different approach here tonight against Bradwell, and it's working in their favor. Two out. Grounded sharply to second. Puaka Grego over to Spence for one. The relay to first in time. A 4-6 3-out play. That's a big twin killer induced by Bradwell. However, the Aces push across 3 runs on 2 hits. They leave nobody on. It's Logan Moore's 3-run blast that has put the Aces up in front for the first time today. Top of the third on its way after this.
We have more than live sporting events. We have atmosphere. And we have more than customers. We have fans. It's more than a sports bar. It's a sporting globe.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Ed White, Max Tanzer with you. 3-1 lead for the Aces. That is the Harcourt's Cider and Juice Bar. That's down the first base line. Max, fresh apple juice, cider, nacho dogs, nachos, unbelievable food and drink. And they're doing a roaring trade tonight. Look at that crowd.
It looks fantastic. Look, it's a little bit cooler, so I think I could go with the nacho dogs tonight.
Yeah?
Maybe a little bit apple cider on top of that as well.
Yeah, I think it's, in fact, let's just head down there right now.
Okay, easy.
Let's do that. Someone else can call the game. We'll go down to the
we got someone in the booth. They can take
Cider
over
and
for
Juice
us.
Bar. One of the great places here at Melbourne Ballpark as we look around the grounds. Couple of games underway. Canberra and Brisbane, 0-0. Perth, Sydney, that's bad news for the Aces. Perth with a 2-0 lead in the first inning against the Sydney Blue Sox.
Yes, the Aces with 3 games left need to play 1 game better than either or both of the Perth Heat and Canberra Cavalry. They're fortunate that Brisbane beat Canberra 1-0 yesterday, but they could not take advantage. Louis Albrecht leads things off, and he fouls the first pitch straight back, 0-1. Joey Steele out for the 3rd inning, and he now has a lead.
Saw Louis Albrecht last night getting a drink after the game, and
was it cider?
I heard him I think it was, and I heard him talking, and the guy behind the counter said, "Where are you from?" He said, "Seattle."
0-1.
So I.
Oh, look at the English on that one. Almost rolled back fair, 0-2.
I jumped in and said, "Oh, you're from Seattle?" I'm from Seattle. The other guy who commentates with me is from Mercer Island. Couldn't believe it. How old is he? I took a guess. I said 23. I was right. You guys actually have a lot of guys you know in common you played with.
Yes. In fact, I didn't even ask him what summer team he played for because I'm sure we played against each other.
Probably would have.
Too, but he knew a lot of my high school teammates, and I'm the one in the booth now. He's the one still on the field, so tip my cap to him. He won. But very cool. What a small world we live in. 0-2 from Steele. Outside, 1-2. And he's one of the several Philadelphia Philly farmhands on this team. We talked about catching Esteban Jimenez yesterday, who was a dragon-breathing fire yesterday, my goodness. And he actually mentioned that he's gotten him plenty, of course, with his time in the Phillies order.
Yeah, he said that sort of helped him out because the pitches he was throwing yesterday were nasty.
Right, you said it was the changeup that he won an award for, so we're going in thinking it's going to be the off-speed pitch, and then that slider is breaking 1,000 feet. 2-2 from Steele. Swing and a miss. Another punch out for Joey. That's his 5th. He struck out 5 in a row.
That's incredible.
So he's looking good after that leadoff homer in the first inning. His season high for strikeouts was 4, which he's done so twice, so he's already surpassed that with plenty of time to go. And again, looking for some quick innings here after a 20-pitch first inning. Again, he'll probably be limited to about 60 pitches so far tonight, and he's currently just about at 40. Well, the lineup flips over. He gets another chance to face Nick Ward, who homered to lead this game off in first. First one is sent up to shallow center. Whitefield getting tested again. This time, Dale well out of the zone. He makes the catch 2 away.
I was going to say, Jared, stay away.
Well, Adelaide finally put one in play. That breaks the stretch of 5 consecutive fan hitters. 2 quick outs for Steele. Since the homer, he's retired each of the next 9 hitters in a row, too. So he's really been grooving so far.
Yeah, remarkable.
Liam Spence digs in. Again, if you're just tuning in, Aces took the lead in the bottom of the second on the 3-run homer from Logan Moore out to deep right center field. Again, just 3 more games left, including this one of the regular season. First pitch to Spence just misses upstairs. 1-0 the count. The Aces, of course, made the playoffs last year and faced this Adelaide Giants team in a very tight, very emotional 3-game series. 1-0. Just a little bit high, 2-0. These two teams so familiar with each other. Of course, the Aces picked up a championship win against the Giants in a best-of-3 set a couple years ago. 2-0, scored in for a strike. 2-1. That was the second of their 2 consecutive rings.
It was my second ring, man.
There you go. I was going to say, I need to see this ring now. I don't believe it.
I've got some photos. I'll show you.
2-1. Pop foul straight back 2-2. I was going to say, you can walk around and say you're a former player.
I don't think anyone in this ballpark would believe that.
You may have heard of our broadcaster, Daryl George. Count even at 2-2 here on Spence, who reached on an error his first time up and was stranded. Pitch. Line down to left, fairly deep. Is it going to stay fair? No, just hooks foul.
Just fortunate that flew across the line, because that would have been easily 2.
Middle of the order threatening here for the Giants. You could see yesterday, as we get another look at the Adelaide bullpen. Again, no one up. But John Diebel was not afraid to go to a left-hander when the 3 consecutive big left-handed hitters came up in Carr, Wingrove, and McArdle. It's nice to have those 3 hitters, but you are susceptible to losing the favorable matchup if you stack up 3 consecutive left-handed bats. 2-2 from Steele. Breaking ball, throws him. Strike 3 called. 6 strikeouts for Joey Steele. He's been breathing fire all night long. Look at this nasty breaker. We enter the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Aces lead 3-1 here on Aces TV.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Melbourne Aces 3-1 lead over Adelaide as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Ed White, Max Tanzer. Max should mention a young man, Robinson Smith, who spent a little time around the Aces, son of Marty Smith and Nicole Livingston, 2 great supporters of the Aces, great people as well, just signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Really exciting. Always good to see someone you know, someone who's been around the Aces a little bit, sign a deal like that. Really special.
Absolutely, and I'm sure an incredible moment for him. Again, signed immediately when the international signing period began earlier this week. And so he'll get things started in the Pirates organization. Plenty of Australian-born players in that farm system. Solomon McGuire, who we saw with Sydney last week, was in Loe Bradenton last year. I'm sure he'll get the start in the Dominican Summer League. 1-0. Line down the right field line. Fair ball. There it is. Hit number 300 for Aaron Whitefield, and it's going to be a little bit more. He turns into second with the double as the historic career for Aaron Whitefield checks one more box. 300 knocks for Whitey.
Give him the ball. Give him the ball. Hand it to him. Let him take it away.
What a moment for him.
Something special, Max.
Good piece of hitting inside out on a fastball running across the inside corner. Just keeps doing it all. He's also 3 stolen bases away from 100, by the way.
Here we go. I don't think you're going to see that.
Unbelievable. Here's Jared Dale now. Notably, too, the Aces can add on, which is huge, knowing the capabilities of the Adelaide offense as this one is blown foul out of play on 1.
Yeah, I think Whitey would throw away that 300 just to get a run here, an insurance run.
He's a team guy, right?
Absolutely. But what a great accolade.
Not too many guys up there in the 300 mark. Just over 10 of them in the Australian Baseball League. Grounded to third, and under the glove of Ward, that's a break. Whitefield, we know he's got plenty of speed. He comes around to score. Aces jump in front to a 3-run lead. It's 4-1.
Look at that again. Seemed like a relatively routine play. Might have been a bad hop. Might have gone up a little too early with the glove, but that's an error.
First error charged to Adelaide tonight, their third of this series.
So 2 errors tonight after 6 yesterday.
It's been a wild one so far. Here's Glendinning looking to break out of a little short skid over the last couple of nights. Lines it foul, 0-1.
You know, Taylor Swift had that Eras tour. This could be the Errors tour.
Well, with an Australian accent, I think they're the same thing,
probably
right?
About right, yeah.
0-1 the count. Glendinning has struck out in now 6 straight out bats. First pitch, makes it the second pitch, is down and away, 1-1. Are you a big Taylor Swift guy?
Not per se, but a lot of the girls I work with at the office were going nuts when she was here. So I did listen to the record, the last one. It's actually really good. Not really my style, but she's super talented. And the event here was massive, Max. Huge.
1-1 is lined out to the gap, right center field. Night is over. He makes the catch.
No, that was hit really well.
It's a good sign for Robbie. Barreled that one up.
Agreed.
So 1 away. Dale's still at first base. So by the way, Dale does not get credited with an RBI, as that was ruled an E5. On top of that, if Bradwell can pick up the next 2 outs, that run would be unearned. Here's Greg Bird, first pitch, down low, 1-0.
Cool off dramatically here tonight, like last night. Beautiful night for baseball, but did get a little cooler into the later innings.
Foul straight back, count evens up. Yeah, just about 20 degrees or so at first pitch here tonight. I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying it a little bit more.
Don't mind it at all.
Did you bring the fan tonight?
We didn't need the fan. Might need it tomorrow, but I won't bring it. We'll tough it out.
We're tough here in this group. Pitch to Bird, misses upstairs, 2-1. Dale had faked the go and it sliced foul, 2-2. Bird has been really hot as of late with his single back in the second inning. He extended his on-base streak to 11 games, the longest of an Aces player this season. Two is roped down the right field line, top spinning foul, still 2-2. Greg's been flirting with long balls the last couple weeks here. He's been close. He hasn't homered since round 4, but a couple of balls off the very top of the wall. He's flown out to the track a couple of times. I want a deep foul ball. Runner goes, 2-2 is grounded and through into right center field for a knock. Dale off to the races. Diebel was giving him the wave, but then puts on the brakes. A single for Greg Bird. That's his third of the series. Runners to the corners with 1 away.
Couldn't have been hit in a better spot. That's just like watching a great painter work or a composer. He's just unbelievable hitter.
And the second baseman, Puanka Grego, was tugged towards the 4-hole, and it was hit too hard. No chance for him to get it. So a chance for the Aces to add on more here with Darryl George coming to the plate.
I mean, the first one was ripped into left field. That one was just a seeing eye shot into right center. Just continues to amaze.
First pitch to George. He shows bunt. How about that?
Ooh.
Fouls it straight back.
Interesting.
Hey, in a game like this with playoff chances on the line, do whatever you can to steal a run, right?
Mm.
One strike.
0-1. Swing and a miss. Chase that one 0-2. Well, the Aces have already surpassed their run total from yesterday. That was 3, now 4, after the E5 allowed Whitefield to score. Wide open right side of the infield for George, the 0-2. Fisted softly into right field. Knight racing in, it's down. Dale got a late jump. He had the tag. The throw instead goes to second for the force. Dale comes around to score. 5-1 Aces on a 9-6 fielder's choice RBI for George. RBI for Darryl. That's his 20th of the season. Took a base hit away, but he'll take the ribbing.
Yeah, it's one of those weird plays, isn't it?
Again, Bird at first had the hole.
I was going to say, wasn't sure if it was going to be caught or not. Couldn't tell. But a run's a run.
Indeed. So the Aces now open to a convincing lead here. Here's Morgan McCullough, who grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second. First pitch. Chopped foul up the line, 0-1.
And this is good signs against, a pitcher who's been really good this year.
Absolutely. Bradfield had come in with an ERA below 3. Again, it's just his fourth start. But now the most amount of runs he's allowed in a game this season. And previously, before that, it was 3, which was twice. 0-1. Taken at the knees for a strike, 0-2. And then meanwhile, Joey Steele now has quite a comfortable lead after giving up the leadoff homer to Ward in the first inning.
And he's looking strong.
By the way, because of all this action, all of these runs now earned on Bradwell, except for the Dale play where he came around to score. 0-2. Line softly, right center field. This one drops in. George taking the turn for 3 on the throw. McCullough in the second. Throw to third, not in time. Another base hit for Morgan McCullough. He's 4 for his last 5 and continues to just hit at a 500 pace. He's been unbelievable.
He just continues to see that ball like it's a balloon.
And he balloons that one into shallow right center.
And good hustle from Georgie there to get in. Good slide as well here. Just gets in right under that throw.
Back corner of the bag, too. That's huge. Slides on the other side. He might be out.
Correct.
So we'll see what they rule that. I think that might be a single for McCullough and it advances to second on the throw. Here's Logan Moore, who sent a 3-run homer out to deep right center his first time up. That gave the Aces the lead. First pitch. Inside. Backs him out of the way. 1-0. Swing and a miss late on a fastball.
He's going for the second home run there for that swing. Big cut.
Count evens up at 1-1. By the way, Perth up 2-0 now in the top of the third inning on Sydney. For those keeping an eye on that score. Again, the Aces would like Sydney to win preferably. 1-1. Popped up out of play. 1-2. Meanwhile, Canberra and Brisbane just underway. They're scoreless in the second. So, really the Aces out to a convincing lead right now. Again, have to finish this game. Still 6 innings left, but you really need Brisbane to beat Canberra. That's probably the goal here.
Unfortunately, we have no control over that.
1-2 to Moore. Out in front, got a piece, stays alive. Meanwhile, if you're Adelaide, again, thinking about that number 1 seed, they do have their tiebreaker over Sydney, too. Or, excuse me, I don't believe they do, actually. Sydney has that tiebreaker, so they really need to win all 3 and Sydney to lose the next 3/4 with their doubleheader tomorrow. 1-2. Upstairs, 2-2 him. This has been a lengthy inning for Bradwell.
Yeah.
No action in the Adelaide bullpen, so he's going to finish this inning. This will be his 61st pitch of the night.
I think someone just got up and started throwing Max as soon as you said that.
Sometimes how it goes. Pull shift on here for more. 2-2. Outside, 3-2.
Yeah, nice eye from Logan.
Bradwell entered tonight with a 2.97 ERA, and that's now ballooned up to 4. Been a tough outing for him tonight. The Aces have been seeing him well. After a really quick 1-2-3 first inning at that, too. Payoff. Foul straight back. He stays alive. Jared Belbin on deck if Moore can keep this inning alive. Three-two. Pounded foul, and another pitch to be thrown here from Bradwell. Moore doing a really good job. It's plate appearances like these where you can really knock a pitcher out of the game by an inning.
His leg's taking a beating, though, on these foul balls. The second one has popped into his right leg.
He's going to have to catch the next inning.
Yeah, that's right.
George at third, McCullough at second. 2 runs in this inning for the Aces. Here's the payoff again. Up and away, ball 4, another walk. Third tonight, drawn by the Aces offense, and the bases are loaded for Jared Belbin.
That's a great at-bat from Logan Moore. Obviously, Bradwell had to be careful. Moore homered off him the first time up, but good patience and fouling those balls off.
He's now approaching 70 pitches. The Aces could really knock him out of this game with one swing right here. George at third, McCullough at second, Moore at first. Belbin looking to break out of an 0-for-14 stretch here. Lined out to right center field, Knight racing in, it's down, there it is. George scores, McCullough right behind him, 2 more runs in, it's 7-1 Melbourne.
That's huge from Jared Belbin, absolutely massive.
It's all Aces tonight as he just dropped it in front of Knight, who is aggressively cutting across. Jammed him just enough, honestly, for him to get it down. Finds the barrel that might be hit too hard that it gets out tonight. More to third on the play. Here's Chris Burke. And this has been a tough couple of innings for Adelaide now. 3 in the second, 4 in the third here from the Aces. Burke, the 9th hitter to the plate in this frame. First pitch. Strike called, 0-1. For Belbin, RBIs 11 and 12 on the year for him. The Aces came to the ballpark, saw this Melbourne ballpark crowd fill up the stands, and they have come to party. 0-1. Lofted to left, late jumper Holsizer, he's now back. Wynn picks it up, and he can't make the catch.
Oh, my word. Burke could go all the way here.
Moore scores, Belbin scores, Burke in the third. Aces continue to pour it on.
Oh, my word.
It's 9-1 as that fly ball tied up Holsizer and Knox. Well, here comes manager Chris Adamson out from the dugout, and that'll be it for James Bradwell.
Watch this again. It's like, I have no idea what Holsizer is doing here.
Looked like he tried to stay in bounds, keep those 2 feet in, and make the catch in his lap. I think he got a little turned around, a little bit of a late jump, and at that point was in a tough position to make the catch.
Yeah, we know what the wind can do here, and you're a prisoner of the wind once you've kind of lost it like that, Max.
That is ruled an E7 on Holsizer.
Hopefully he's okay out there. Maybe he's just taking a break and thinking about it rather than being injured.
We'll come back after this. A new pitcher on the mound for Adelaide. We'll tell you all about it when we return. It's been a 6-run inning for the Aces.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Well, the Aces were just at the plate, and we got that graphic up because they're still in. 6 runs in this inning, and we have a new pitcher on the mound here for Adelaide.
Yes, it's Kai Hampton, young Aussie 24-year-old. It's his first full ABL season. He came back last year from 5 seasons at Eastern Illinois University. Was really good in the playoffs. Was 2-0 with a 2.00 ERA last season. So a very good young pitcher, and he's going to have to pick up where Bradwell left off. And what a nightmare of an inning for Bradwell and Adelaide.
Yeah, this one's just never ending. There's a look at Holsizer. Again, I think he just got a really late jump. Something to keep an eye on, too. That sun sets over the first base side.
No doubt about it. And as I said, once you've lost it with the wind, with the sun, it's really, really tricky. And you could just see that happen to him out there.
It almost looked like he picked it up right when it was on him. Here's Whitefield, the 10th batter to the plate in this inning. Again, for those curious, that was an E7 on Holsizer, not a triple for Burke, so no RBIs for him. As Whitefield takes a strike.
We're on pace again for another big error game. That's 3. There were 6 yesterday.
So 9 in the series on both ends. 0-1 is tapped foul. 0-2. That reminded me of the play we saw on Sunday on that Belbin sack fly, where then the ball was thrown to the left and 3 scored. Different circumstances, but still similar, just with the back and forth chaos displayed. 0-2. Sliced foul.
You know what's interesting? Just to throw that out there, and this is just the way baseball's played. Ward was in left field yesterday. He starts tonight in third, makes an error at third. Holsizer, the new left fielder, makes an error in left field. Just the way the game is.
The ball will find you, right? 0-2. Swing and a miss, went after it for strike 3. That'll end the inning. Hampton does his job and retires the first batter he faces. The Aces send a 10-batter inning to this sold-out Melbourne Ballpark crowd and push across 6 runs. They lead 9-1. Joey Steele back out for the top of the 4th when we come back.
Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Welcome back. We'll wrap up that inning in just a second, but need to mention that SEN is your home for sport. Download the SEN app. Listen live to SEN's network of stations. Get the best news and live coverage in Australia. Enter tipping contest. Catch the latest on the AFL, which will be starting fairly soon. Horse racing, cricket, and much, much more. SEN, download the app today. Ed White, Max Tanzer with you, and Aces suddenly have a big lead.
A 9-1 lead to be exact, as we saw a little bit of everything in that inning. The Aces, only 4 hits you were telling me, Ed, and they pushed across 6 runs, taking advantage of mistakes.
Yes, well, the Aces doing it today. Adelaide did it yesterday. Aces doing it today. Look at Jared Belvin there. Big hit from him. Here's our scores, and that is not good news in either game, Max.
Not for the Aces, as Canberra leads 1-0 for 2-0, as you can see. They need those scores to flip. And if they can gain a game on either Canberra or Perth, meaning if the Heat or the Cavalry, just one of them loses today and the Aces hold on to this lead, they have a playoff spot with 2 games to go. There's still plenty of time. Those games close.
Yes.
The good news is if they win this one, they're at least guaranteeing that they'll enter tomorrow in the same spot. Of course, would love to gain today. Jared Carr to lead it off against Steele as he takes upstairs 2 balls, no strikes. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. As Steele probably had to sit down for about 25 minutes right there. We'll see how he looks.
I did think about that.
Yeah. 2-0. 3-0. Well, he has been so good at it. 6 strikeouts through 3 innings.
Yeah, 2 straight, 3 up, 3 down innings.
3-0. Strike called, 3-1. That's right, he's retired 9 in a row now. 6 of those 9, he's fanned. 3-1. 3-2, really good spot. That changeup's been a weapon for him so far.
You know, and this is a case of don't put anybody on. You get a 9-1 lead. Throw some strikes, which he's doing.
3-2. Lined out to right. That's down for a base hit. And Jared Carr extends his hitting streak to 15 games. What a start to his ABL season. He's now picked up a hit in 16 of his first 17 games with Adelaide.
Yeah, that's remarkable stuff.
It's good speed on first base as well. 10 stolen bases in 16 games for him so far this year. Here's Rickson Wingrove now. Got to be careful. Pitch is upstairs, 1-0.
Crowd getting their money's worth tonight.
Right?
If you're an Aces fan. I mean, there's a fair few Adelaide fans here. They may not agree with that statement.
I've never seen so many Phillies jerseys in this ballpark. There goes Carr. Pitch is a good one to run on. A strike. Moore's throw not in time.
Great jump.
Stolen base number 11 for Carr. And it was a breaking ball, and so it gave him an extra couple of steps, too. Here's another look. It was a good throw from Moore. Right on line. The Carr too fast and a good jump, as you mentioned. Well, still plenty of time for Adelaide to start chipping away. No better time than right now.
And this middle of the order is tough. Carr, Wingrove, McCardle.
1-1. Catapulted out to left center field. Whitefield on his horse towards the wall. Reaches up and makes the catch. Had to run a mile to grab that one. 1 away.
Yeah, that was a really well hit ball. But that's what Whitefield can do.
And he's got to be feeling a little bit better seeing the closing speed on that one right there. And a lot of guys, I think, are getting to the track and leaping up. He had time to slow down and set his feet to make that catch.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Just a great play.
So Carr held at second base. He was going halfway. And here's Jordan McArdle. First one. Down low, 1-0. Only run of the night for Adelaide was on the leadoff homer from Nick Ward. Swing and a miss. That changeup again. Filthy. 1-1. And I think for Steele and Moore, the conversation must have been when we're facing these 3 lefties. Changeups all the way. 1-1. Just a little bit low. Another one. 2-1. And the reason why that's so effective is because, again, it comes from the fastball trajectory. So you're thinking fastball, but it's running away from you, so you can induce soft contact. Of course, it's running away from the barrel versus against a right-hander, it can be effective but if you make a mistake, it oftentimes runs into their barrel. 2-1, Carr at second base after the leadoff single and the stolen base. 2-1. 2-2. Sun starting to set, as you can see, shining on that third base side of the grandstand. Everyone shading their eyes. Plenty of sunglasses in that section.
Just looking at the scoreboard, Max, as Canberra's got a couple more runs now with a 3-0 lead over Brisbane.
So that much more important for the Aces to win this one. 2-2, got him swinging. How about 7 punch-outs for Steele? 2 away. That's an ABL career high, of course, adding to it, and a season high at that as well, concluding the American Association. After a couple of change-ups, went to the big curveball.
There's Holsizer now. He'd love to make up for that error in left field tonight.
Steele now 65 pitches. That's 66. He drops in a bender. 0-1.
He was a strikeout victim in the second, Holsizer.
Seems like Joey Steele is feeling good. Seems like he's getting comfortable with this starting thing, huh? Fastball misses inside to 1-1. This is not an easy lineup to face.
No.
Especially as a right-hander. Got off to a tough start, but he's been locked in, and I'm sure wherever he goes next season, probably signing on with the intent to be a reliever, but he's got this in his back pocket now, 1-2. In a pinch, he can make a start, it seems.
Yeah, and it's, how huge is it for John Debo and Peter Moreland and the Aces that he's been able to step up and do this, just really saving the season in a funny way without sounding too dramatic.
1-2. Down and away, 2-2. In case you missed us talking about it earlier, he hasn't been in a full-time starting role since high school. The only other time he's made multiple starts in a season was in the Northwood Summer Collegiate Woodbat League back when he was in college. And he told us those weren't even legit starts, more opening roles, where he pitched a couple of innings. 2-2. Tapped up the line, foul. Count still holds. A lot of times for relievers, the big bugaboo, maybe if that's the right term, is that you generally are a 2-pitch, maybe a 3-pitch guy, which is generally good for facing the lineup one time.
Yeah, and it's mentally as well, too. You're coming in, you're 1 or 2 innings, and you're out.
Yes.
This is such a different mindset.
You got to change speeds, change eye levels. You have to have multiple sequences, and he has had no problem with that tonight. 2-2. Got him swinging. Joey Steele, my goodness, 8 strikeouts through 4 innings. Have a night. And he's not done yet. Aces lead 9-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Look at this riding fastball. Seared past Holsizer to end the inning. We'll be back after this.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Back at the ballpark here in Melbourne, Aces out to a 9-1 lead. But Joey Steele, a story of his own tonight. 8 punch-outs through 4 innings of work. He has been so fantastic. As you can see, the lights are flickered on here at the ballpark. There's a look at the Aces dugout. all packed up in the warm clothing, too, as it starts to get a little bit chillier.
That orange Powerade is kind of dangerous. It looks like Whitey was sipping on a beer, which he's not, obviously, but it just had a funny look with that light shining on it.
Yes,
this
I know.
Amber look.
Yes, Ben, the Aces bat boy, fills up the Gatorade every day, so I know the Gatorade's in there, but you never know. Here's the pitch to steal. Just kidding. 1-0 the count. I know that Aaron Whitefield, when we asked all the players what their favorite, more like superlatives, like favorite pregame meal, favorite movie, favorite music genre, he told us his pregame meal is, I think, a Red Bull, and I forget what the food was, but Red Bull's a good one to go with, I feel like, before a game. Maybe he had some Red Bull in there.
Yeah.
1-0. Oh, he turns on that one, hooks it foul.
Yeah, it's a good point. It does have that color. You're right. Yeah,
it could be.
You don't drink Red Bull out of the percentage of drinking Red Bull out of a can to Red Bull out of a glass would be about, what, 90 to 10, 95 to 5?
He wants to feel classy, okay? You get 300 ABL hits, and you can do whatever you want. Dale charges this to way back in left field. See you later. Another bomb for the Aces. That's Dale's third, and there was no question about it.
Brought to you by Crew Fitness. Round those bases, Jared. What a year that man is having.
Double digits for the Aces, and we're just in the fourth inning. Get a pull the right of that one. What a shot. That's his first hit of the night. Here's Glendinning. First pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. By the way, Hampton out for his first full inning of work. He came in to relieve the starter, James Bradwell.
There was the Polaroid shot.
1-1.
Magnificent.
Just beautiful. By the way, updated line for Bradwell. With all those errors, 2 2/3 of an inning's worth, 9 runs, just 4 of them were earned.
Wow.
1-1. Strike called 1-2.
That's amazing.
I mean, talk about a tough night. Not getting much help. It was the story for the Aces yesterday. Now it's flipped on its head towards the Adelaide side. Just shows you how quickly things can turn. One, two's outside and low. Counting it's up at 2-2.
And now we look at that game last night, right? Because Ace is looking great at the moment, but now it's out of your hands. You've got to rely on Sydney and Brisbane to help you out.
2-2, lined out to left. Holsizer plays on a hop. There's a base hit for Robbie Glendinning. That's got to feel good. Hit the ball hard. Back-to-back plate appearances now, and another base runner for the Aces.
Yeah, that's big for Robbie. There's Jared Dale. That is water, I can confirm.
Look at all those kids hanging out on the railing down the first base side. That's what's so fun about this ballpark, too, is all that standing room down on the first and third base sides. Doesn't matter where your ticket is, you can get a really good view so close up. Here's Greg Bird. Pops it up out to left. Holsizer towards the line. Makes the catch with 2 hands, 1 away.
He'd be happy to make that catch after the action he's seen out there tonight.
That one a little bit easier. The
Yeah.
sun is set. The wind has calmed down a little bit, it seems.
Indeed. Here's Jared Dale. Just getting into that.
Ran into his barrel right there.
It bounces off that container out there as well.
Bingo.
Should get something for that.
Yeah, maybe a lifetime supply of light and easies. There's the Polaroid.
There's the 2 home run hitters.
Yes. Mitch Edwards always there for it. Here's Daryl George. First pitch is taken across the knees for strike 1.
You know what? We should talk to one of the local museums about a Mitch Edwards exhibition.
Oh, yes.
Exhibit those photos somewhere.
That would be wonderful, right?
Yeah, you always say hang it in the Louvre, right? You can just say hang it there.
0-1. Grounded down the line, foul.
Just foul.
0-2. For those who aren't familiar with the Aces home run tradition, Mitch Edwards, one of their catchers, has purchased a Polaroid camera. He did so before the opening series back against Canberra, and every time an Aces player hits a home run, they take a Polaroid picture and they have them all hung up in their clubhouse. So, of course, when Greg Bird had his 3-homer game, he was basically the only guy with Polaroid pictures, but it tells a really fun story of the season. I mean, you gotta love it. 0-2 the count on Darryl. Here's the pitch. Down and away, 1-0. Darryl, should we say, flew into a 9-6 fielder's choice? Picked up an RBI, and that was again on the fly ball that just dropped in front of Knight, and Greg Bird had to tag it first, but it did bring around a run to score. That was Dale. Outside, and this one skips past Albrecht, and Glendenning will advance station to second base.
Bad we can't offload some of these runs to Brisbane.
Yes.
We've got 10. We only need, 8, 6? Take 4 up there.
Yeah, you really have to get strategic with it. Get Adelaide a potent offense. 9 runs is a hard deficit to come back by. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
you never know.
No, you're right.
2-2's outside, 3-2. The Aces look poised to just continue to add on. Again, 5 innings left in this game, and they're already at 10 runs here. Their season high for runs. Again, they've reached double digits several times this year, but their most in a single game is 11. They've done it twice, most recently at Canberra on the 20th of December. 3-2 to George. Outside, ball 4, another walk. It's the 4th drawn by the Aces today.
Yeah, very un-Adelaide-like.
That's right. Adelaide had the fewest walks in the ABL entering tonight at 100 on the dot. Also the most strikeouts from the league's best earned run average. And the Aces have been able to take care of this pitching staff today. I mean, it's been incredible. Here's Morgan McCullough. Extended his hit streak to 7 games his last time up as he fouls that one straight back. How about these numbers, Ed? McCullough in his last 7 games entering tonight was 9 for 19. Now at the hits today, 10 for 21.
It's right around 500, just a little below.
Otherworldly numbers. The interesting part is they've all been singles, but he's such a table setter, and he has good speed, so he can steal himself into second base, too. Picked up his first RBI of the year yesterday with a sac fly to center. 0-1. Old foul, 0-2 into the dugout.
Was that earlier one ruled a single and an advance on a throw? Do we know?
That's what my assumption was. We'll get the official ruling here. Yes. Single and advance to second on the throw.
Good call. You were all over that.
Those ones can be tricky because it's a lot on if the runner has committed before the fielder has made the throw, but I think in that case McCullough was kind of slowing up a little bit, then decided to turn on the jets. 0-2's down low, good take on the changeup. A long inning here for Hampton, 1-2. The good news for Adelaide is their bullpen is rested as ever after Estevez and Jimenez picked up the 3-inning save.
No kidding.
Glendenning at second, George at first. 1-2. Popped up, third base side out of play. Count still holds. Well, we got fireworks after the game tonight, and we've seen plenty already here today. I'm sure a lot of these fans excited to stick around post-game. We at least know it'll be dark with the pace of this game going with so many runs scored. What's the longest day of the year here? Is it flipped? Is it?
It is, yeah. It's flipped.
So December 21st, would that be? 1-2. Grounded sharply through the box into center for a knock. Glendinning will hold it third. Another base hit for Morgan McCullough. He's had multi-hit games now in 4 consecutive contests. I mean, my goodness.
Does that push him to 500?
11 for his last 22.
2, yeah, 500. How about that?
It's inevitable, right? Good piece of hitting right up the middle.
Unbelievable.
All singles, but he's now hitting well over 350.
What a pickup he's been. Look at that crowd.
Josh Poles,
first
pitching coach
baseline
for Adelaide, out to the mound.
Yeah, he's been an incredible acquisition, playing that second base position very well as hitting like that.
Right, and after the Aces lost Arturo Disla and Antonis Macias, who both went back to their respective homes to get ready for the 2025 season in the Texas Rangers organization, you're thinking, how are we going to supplement this lineup? How are we going to get that pop back, especially with the loss of Disla, who at the time was leading the league in homers and runs batted in? Well, you add Logan Moore, you add Morgan McCullough, and again, it hasn't been the same exact production as Disla, but it adds enough length to this lineup because you know you have the top 5-6 guys in your lineup already are some of the best in this league, and I think it's really filled out now.
Yeah, and that's always the thing about this league. You're chopping and changing when you lose guys back to their clubs. You lose the Japanese players before Christmas. It's a real challenge.
First pitch to Logan Moore, down and away 1-0. Again, the base is loaded. Moore's already homered. The Aces have yet to hit a grand slam this year. That was the real turning point, I think, especially losing the 3 Works Buffalo pitchers, Kyosuke Saito, Taiki Ono, and Taito Takashima.
Yeah.
1-0 to Moore. Roll foul, counting it's up at 1-1. They provided so much stability, not just in the back end of the bullpen, talking about Ono, who was lights out. Walked a decent amount of guys, but the swing and miss was through the roof. But your rotation, you lost essentially half of it, right? You play 4-game series generally, unless there's a makeup game. And so you lost your 2 back-end starters. They still had Tripp and Moramondo, but then they had to fill a bunch of gaps, and that's what's opened it up for Joey Steele, for example. 1-1. Sent out to left, fairly deep. Holsizer scampering back. Now on the track, he can't make this catch either. What a tough night. Glendinning scores. George turning on the Jets, trying to score. The tag, not in time. Darrell's fired up, and the Aces add on 2 more.
We're going to call this Nightmare in Left Field. You watched a horror movie lately? That's a new one. Having an absolute disaster out there in left field.
Man, that'll probably be another error on Holsizer, but I believe Moore will get credit for a sac fly and an RBI, as it would have been a sac fly RBI either way with Glendinning tagging it. Again, just when he starts to backpedal, that's when you know he's in trouble.
And he's just missed that. There's no sun. There's wind. There's a weird night. We have talked to Chris Burke about that, but he wouldn't be happy with himself. And George just gets around that.
I think he whipped on the tag.
Must have been a missed tag because the throw was there.
Oh, we got to get another shot of Darrell getting pumped up right there. That's a couple times in the last 2 weeks he's shown so much emotion. We talked about him being so stoic earlier, but in the big moments, he's really emotional in a great way. That one slashed foul from Belvin, 0-1.
So McCullough just goes to second because he figured it was going to be caught, right?
Yes. We haven't gotten an official ruling. I mean, if Holsizer didn't touch it, there might be an argument that it is a single. We'll see. It's not our decision. 0-1. Belbin sends this to Holsizer again. Down the left field line. Did he make this catch? Yes, he did. Almost overran it. The ball's just finding him all night long.
It is, and that's big for him. Nice work there. That's not easy to do when you've had a couple of issues and you're running there against that fence. Very acrobatic, managed to make that catch. Big catch from him.
That is ruled an error on Holsizer, by the way. But Moore is credited with an RBI. So, in fact, it's actually a sacrifice fly in the book and an E7. So he doesn't record an at-bat. So give Moore his 7th RBI of the year. Here's Chris Burke now with 2 away. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
You're right about that ball just finding him out. It's like it's drawn to left field. Good heavens.
I think maybe a part of it, too, is just overthinking it after a really tough one a couple innings ago. Maybe as that ball's coming to him and he has to run a long way, even though he had it in his tracks. Maybe just thinking too much. 0-1. Grounded over to first. Wingrove will shovel over to the covering pitcher, Hampton, and this inning's over. Another lengthy frame. A 3-run inning for the Aces. They lead 12-1. Way to the top of the 5th. We'll give you some updates around the rest of the ABL when we come back here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back to the ballpark. You look at Daryl George there, catching her breath after that big inning. It's 12-1 Aces. Need to mention, like the Aces, Eagle Eye Plumbing and Air Conditioning is proud to serve Melbourne's West with over 10 years of high-level experience in the domestic and commercial sectors. It doesn't take an Eagle Eye to see that Merrick and his team take pride in quality workmanship. Eagle Eye Plumbing, proud sponsor of the Melbourne Aces. There you go, look at that Eagle there, Eagle Eye alongside the Hanwha Eagles, who will be here to play Team Australia in a few weeks' time. There was a contingent from Hanwha out here tonight, getting a look at the ballpark, taking a look around. They were happy with what they saw.
They're getting ready to go.
They are getting ready to go.
As we see one of the newer Aces,
yes.
That's Dennis Neal getting warmed up in the pen. Yes, absolutely. Hey, why not? Up by 11.
And Wes de Jong did a nice job last night coming in.
He did indeed. Again, that International Baseball Showdown, the Hanwha Eagles versus Team Australia, here at Melbourne Ballpark, 14th, 15th, and 16th of February. Joey Steele up for the 5th. 7-8, 9-2 up for Adelaide as Riley Knight will lead things off as Steele looks for a career high in innings. He's gone 4 in his first 2 starts this year. 0-1 is down low, 1-1, and Steele has struck out 8 hitters. He has been so good. Plenty of run support for him, too. Now at career high, 73 pitches for him as well. 1-1. 1-2, and I'm sure John Diebel, seeing the bottom third of the lineup up, saying, why not, Joey, go get him, especially with plenty of breathing room right here. Aces could use as many innings as they can out of all of these guys, too, with just so much uncertainty in this pitching staff right now. Knight struck out swinging back in the second inning. 1-2 on its way. Breaking ball up and away. Count evens up at 2-2.
Blue Sox have scored 2-1 Perth.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I promised everyone the score update. 2-2. Rolled to first. Bird gobbles it up. Shovels to Joey. Covering. 1 away. 4 in a row retired. And the Aces right-hander. There's our score update. So Canberra up big time at Brisbane. 4-0 bottom 3. But this bottom score, important for the Aces too. If Sydney can come back, the Aces then, assuming they hold on to this 12-1 lead, would tie with Perth for what would be 4th place, assuming Canberra wins against so many moving pieces.
Yeah.
But the Aces have the tiebreaker with Perth, so they can finish tied and make the postseason. That is not the case with Canberra. They have to finish a game higher than Canberra. Here's Puaka Grego. First pitch is cut on a miss for strike one. Fastball with some ride. A 1. Breaking ball, strike called, 0-2. I mean, you've been around this league much longer than I have, Ed. Does it usually get this tight in the final weekend?
I don't remember it being this tight, I'll be honest with you, especially with so many permutations involving 3 teams.
0-2. Skied into right. Glendinning scampering underneath it. This one way up there, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Stealing out away from getting through 5 frames for the first time in his career.
Yeah, that's really special. He's done a remarkable job.
What a story. And he's pitching with nothing to lose right now, again up by 11.
They got some action in the bullpen, Aces bullpen, but it's just sort of warming up, stretching at the moment.
Newly Albrecht into the plate. First pitch. Shot out to center. Whitefield back, showing his numbers towards the track. He can't make the catches off the wall. Albrecht falls down. He'll get into second base. Maybe could have had a chance for 3, but he'll take the double either way.
What a strange play. He's got a smile on his face after tripping around the bases.
Slipped on the turf.
Well hit ball.
Yeah, this one just continued to carry.
Yeah, it did. Just kept going. I think Aaron thought maybe it's time to watch it sail over, but it stayed in. There's Albrecht falling.
So that's a double. That's Albrecht's first hit of the ninth. Second of the series. And that flips the lineup over to Nick Ward. There you go. He's having fun with it. As long as you're okay and you don't get hurt, it's all fun and games,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he almost got that one out.
Yeah, he did.
Here's Nick Ward. Homered in the first. Adelaide has been left off the board since. Ward now has 8 homers to lead the Giants this year. First pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Well, this is, without a doubt, the end of Joey's line right here. Just trying to finish on a high note now at 80 pitches. Again, his previous season high came last week when he threw 63. That was in game 1 of the doubleheader with Sydney. 0-1. Down low, count evens up. Again, Steele was closing out games for the Winnipeg Goldeyes in the American Association this year. So there weren't too many multi-outing appearances for him, or multi-inning appearances for him. I mean, I'm sure at times it took him a couple weeks to toss 5 innings. Because if you're closing, you're only really pitching an inning for every appearance. There goes the bat flying again.
Wow.
That happened last night.
It did.
1-2 the count. And you have to look out there. There's a lot of kids down that line. I don't think it got that area, but still got to be careful. Ben's got it covered. Does look like everyone's okay, but
good hustle.
Never fun to see the bat flying that far down the line. Well, that's the changeup right there from Steele, which has been his bread and butter tonight. And the left-hander up. You can tell that changeup's working when they're letting go of the bat. It means they're well out in front. Steele with 8 strikeouts tonight. He's set. 1-2. Upstairs. Tried to elevate with the heater. 2-2. Albrecht at second base will be going on contact. Liam Spence on deck. Two. Breaking ball, ring him up. Strike 3 called. 9 strikeouts for Joey Steele. Who is this reliever? He's a starter now. 5 innings of 1-run baseball as he snaps a breaking ball across the outside corner to end the inning. What a night as he gets a handshake from Peter Moylan. A well-deserved as we head to the bottom half of the 5th. Aces lead 12-1.
You blind Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
Welcome back to a packed Melbourne ballpark. Melbourne Aces with a 12-1 lead over the Adelaide Giants as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Aces got 3 in the second, 6 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. Adelaide's 1 run came on a very first batter of the game, Nick Ward, who went deep off of Joey Steele, but after that, Steele's been virtually unhittable. He'll be leaving the game after 5 innings of work, 3 hits, 1 run, 9 strikeouts in a shift from his role as a reliever to a starter, helping out now that Sean Morimondo is off. To pitch for the Fubon Guardians in the CPBL in Taiwan. They've said no more pitching for him, so that's put John Diebel and Peter Moylan in a bit of a hole, but Steele stepped in and got it done. As we now look at Aaron Whitefield to face Kai Hampton. Whitefield, Dale, and Glendinning, the top of the order. Whitey notching his 300th career ABL hit earlier in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3 with a flyout and a strikeout. That one's hit hard to center field. Carr is back. It's out of here! Aaron Whitefield goes deep. Aces, lucky 13. How about Whitey? Home run brought to you by Crew Fitness. Crew Fitness getting their money's worth tonight, Max Danzer.
Indeed. Lucky number 13. Home run number 5 for Whitey. What a shot. That was a laser beam out to center.
Just kept going. Carr turned and looked.
Here's Dale. He joins the fun. Shallow left center. It's down for a hit. The Aces are firing on all cylinders tonight.
Maybe save some of these for tomorrow.
Yeah, right? That's 13 runs now on what, 12 hits?
Yeah, I got 12.
They're not done yet. Again, Perth still leading 2-1 in the top of the 5th inning over there in Sydney. Aces need a Blue Sox win to gain ground. So Joey Steele in line for what would be his 2nd win. And his first as a starter. I mean, assuming the Aces win, who do we talk to post-game? I mean, there's so many options.
I think you probably got to get Joey on there.
I think so, too.
Yeah, just a superb effort from him. Especially giving up a leadoff home run.
Yes.
Right? The way these series have been going, the Aces have started very slowly. It was one of those, we didn't say that, but you could think of people going, here we go again, right? The slow start, got to come from behind. He just was lights out after that.
A man of steel, right?
Yes.
Dale not even being held on at first. 2-0. I mean, you usually see that when there's a blowout, but that's late in the game. Again, I don't think the Aces are going to try and take a bag.
No,
but
I don't think so either.
That is interesting here as we sit in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Would that be bad baseball etiquette?
It would be.
Yeah, I think so. As I was explaining this to some guys in the office, that baseball is definitely a sport of traditions and etiquette and unwritten rules and things like that. Things you do and just don't do.
And there you could see Wingrove at first not holding on Dale for a potential pickoff attempt. 3-0, which again isn't out of the ordinary when you're losing by 6, 7 plus runs. But generally, you see that happen in the 9th inning or so, not in the 5th. but that just shows you how convincing of a lead the Aces have. Taken for a strike, 3-1. I mean, the Aces have a chance to flirt with their all-time record for runs in a game. Still plenty of time left, and who knows what happens, but also gets in the territory. I mean, the Aces used Mitch Edwards a couple weeks ago in Perth because they were losing by that much. Glendening out to deep right field. This one slicing foul. 3-2. Maybe Adelaide considers doing so too, because if it gets late in this game, you've used a couple arms already and you're down by this much, why burn another? Most runs in the game for the Aces is 22, by the way. That was on the 30th of January. 22-2 win at Sydney in 2021-22. Most hits in a game, 21. Currently a long way to go for that one. 3-2 is strike 3 called. Robbie thought it was ball 4. One away. And that brings up Greg Bird.
Second strikeout of the night for Hampton.
4-1 Canberra now, top 4.
All right. They've got to run across at least Brisbane.
Hey, it's still plenty of time in that one, right?
Yeah.
First pitch to Bird. Down low, 1-0. First home run call of the year, Ed. How did it feel?
Felt great.
Yeah. Nothing better, too, when you haven't called one in a while and it's one of those in-betweeners. As Bird finds the hole and serves it in the left center, and this one's going to roll to the track. Bird will jog in a second. It's all the way to the wall. How about this? Dale going to come around to score from first. 14 runs for the Aces, and an RBI double from Greg Bird on a worm burner through a vacant hole on the left side of the infield.
Just finds the holes, Greg Bird. What a hitter. What a hitter.
You have to hit a ball pretty hard for just a routine ground ball. Not routine in terms of the positioning, but routine in the way that it was batted to get to the wall. I mean, you'd think the grass would stop this one.
Just keeps going, you're right.
Split the gap. An RBI for Bird, that's his 27th. He leads the ABL in that category. His third hit of the day as well. So the Aces now with 14 runs. That's a season high. George lops this into shallow center. This one drops in. Bird into third. For Darrell, that's his first hit. He's one away from tying.
Yes.
Logan Wade for the second most in ABL history. And they just keep coming for the Aces.
And poor Hampton, they just kind of like sit out here and absorb the punishment.
I was going to say, for Kai Hampton now, his job is just to get as many outs as he can in this one. Here's McCullough. He's 2 for 3 today. 11 for his last 22. He might not even know that. How about 12 for his last 23 and an RBI at that as well?
Ludicrous.
Bird comes around to score from third. 15 runs for Melbourne. This is getting out of hand. That's now at least 3 runs in each of the last 4 innings for Melbourne. And here comes Chris Adamson to the mound. That will be it for the right-hander, Kai Hampton. First and second, 1 down, 3 runs already in. Give McCullough his 3rd hit of the day and his 2nd RBI this season. They may not be taking Hampton out here. There is action in the bullpen, but they've yet to make a call.
Wow.
Long meeting on the mound here as the Aces again needed a win today, and they've put themselves in a really good spot, especially after one that was really frustrating, I'm sure, for them yesterday. And Hampton showing off some good teammate attitude right here. As we get another look at this Whitefield homer. This one led off the inning on the first pitch, and he had a rocket over the wall and straightaway center. That's quite a statement for hit number 301, huh?
Yeah, that was special.
He's really picked up the power game the last couple weeks. Hit his first homer of the year at Adelaide. That was in round 6, and he's had 4 since then. First pitch to Logan Moore, lined out to center. Carr has it played perfectly, grabs it off the clothesline for out number 2. Breaks a stretch of 3 consecutive hits. Logan hit it hard. Makes way to Jared Belbin. Two outs now for Belbin, who broke out of an 0 for 18 skid in the third with a 2-run single to right. How's your scorecard doing?
It's a mess.
The Aces batted around 10 batters in the third innings, and that shifted everything to the right in my scorebook. First pitch to Belbin. Drives it right field, deep. Knight back, so is Carr. It's Carr right in front of the wall to make the catch to end the inning. The Aces push across 3 more. They've scored a season-high 15 runs, and we're only heading to the top of the 6th inning. We'll be back after this here on this Friday night in Melbourne.
The Melbourne Aces would like to thank Dom Chantel and the amazing...
Back at Melbourne Ballpark, as you take a look, the sun almost set here. We've got those patented, what would you call it, blue-ish purple skies fading into
a little purpley orange.
That's right, yeah. It's a beautiful night here at the ballpark. We have a packed house here, over 2,000 fans here at Melbourne Ballpark. We haven't gotten an official total yet, but the season high was just over 2,100 against Canberra on the season opener on the 15th of November, and the Aces flirting with that. Well, we have a new pitcher on the mound for Melbourne, and it's going to be Dennis Neal, the southpaw, making his Aces and ABL debut. We saw Wes De Jong make it yesterday. He's a native Australian. Neal on the other side from America. And here to try and keep this a big lead for the Aces. This is an ideal spot to make your debut. Here's a look at some of the scores around the grounds. I love it. Again, 4-1 Canberra, top 4. Aces need Brisbane to win that one. And then the bottom of your screen, this is a big one to follow for the rest of tonight.
Yeah.
If Sydney can come back, the Aces would move into a tie with Perth, assuming they hold on to this lead. And they have the tiebreaker with the Heat. Well, Liam Spence will lead things off. The night done for Joey Steele, who was as good as you could have asked for. 5 innings, 9 strikeouts, 1 run. It came on the first batter of the game, a leadoff homer to Nick Ward.
I guess the one thing you'd say about bringing a guy like Neal is that Adelaide probably hasn't seen it.
Ever.
Yeah.
0-1. It's a good breaking ball right there. A little sweeper action, 0-2. Neal, a tall left-hander, as you can see, 6'2", went to college in Texas. 34 years old. As that one's lined right back to him. Picks it up on the rebound. Welcome to the ABL, Dennis Neal. 1 up, 1 down. Look at the wingspan on that one, reaching all the way across his body to knock it down.
Good composure as well, because it comes right back at him, you'll see. Sharp, gets the glove up, doesn't stay with it, but then manages to calmly pick it up. Knew he had some time, throw to first. No damage done.
Beautiful. Very similar to that Brett Irwin line drive comebacker we saw last week.
That's a great shot from our sportscast
beautiful
camera.
shot. Jared Carr to the plate. First pitch is outside 1-0. Of course, always a big thank you to our Sportscast Australia crew.
Done a great job this year, Max. Get better every year.
They do. I haven't even been here the previous few years, and I just know how fantastic it's been. 1-0.
Well, you watched some of the
2-0.
previous years, didn't
I
you?
did,
When
I
we
did.
talked, and I said, you go back and watch some of the other games.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I accepted the position and I went back and watched old games, my jaw was on the floor. I'm like, this is the best production I'll ever be a part of. This is amazing. 2-0. Strike called 2-1, and it's only exceeded my expectations. Great guys to work with. They all work so hard early in the day.
Yeah.
Super long commutes at that as well.
And we stroll in and just kind of, well, I stroll in. You're here with them.
2-1 swing and a miss, 2-2, but it's only a 20-minute train ride for me. I mean, it's nothing. It's a cakewalk compared to their long drive. 2-2 the count here on Carr. Extended his hitting streak to 14 games his last time up. 2-2. Fisted softly to short. Dale charges. Throws over a little bit wide, but Bird kept his front of the bag. 2 quick outs. Good start for Dennis Neal.
Wondered about the pause there from Neil Douglas. I wasn't sure.
Look at this.
The Blue Sox.
Oh, my goodness. Out of nowhere.
You love the Blue Sox.
Brendan Jones swiping that one in, thinking we wanted C. 4-2 Blue Sox your score. Let's take a look on how that came to be. So now the Aces, if both of these scores hold, they're in a playoff spot, folks, with 2 games to go after this one. First pitch to Wingrove is in there for a strike.
Because Canberra would then move to 3rd, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, and we would be tied with Perth
Yes.
for that 4th spot.
And the Aces have the tiebreaker. 0-1's outside,
What happens
1-1.
if it's a 3-way tie?
We'll have to talk to Eric Ballmer.
Maybe get Eric on the line.
Yes.
Because that would probably
It probably would have to
throw
do
some of the tiebreakers
something to do with head-to-head and then maybe runs scored against the other 2 teams. Wingrove rolls it foul. 1-2 into the Aces dugout. 5-2 now. Did we get back-to-back homers, or is there like a crazy bases-loaded rally going on? Oh, my goodness. Let's get a look. I got the update here. Pitch to Wingrove, rolled the foul. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. All right, Corey Acton walked with the bases loaded to tie the game. And then Clayton Campbell hit a 2-run double to give Sydney a 4-2 lead. Just recently, Jalen Ray singled in another run. 5-2 as the Blue Sox jump out to a comfortable advantage. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, they can solidify that first place spot, right? If they win and Adelaide loses, right?
Yes.
So there is some motivation there for them.
Sydney entering tonight a game and a half up on Adelaide for first. If both score holds, they would move to a 2.5 game lead with 2 to go.
Yeah.
Sydney has a doubleheader tomorrow, so I mean theoretically, but I believe the Blue Sox do have the tiebreaker. So if Adelaide somehow is still alive for that first seed, it would be very tough to overcome as that one misses inside ball 4. Walk to Wingrove. 2-out base runner.
First walk of the night
Adelaide.
for Aces pitchers.
That's
How about
right.
that? How about that?
We'll make way to Jordan McArdle here. So 5-2 Sydney. Taking a look at Dennis Neal here. Pitched his college ball at Texas College. That was in Tyler, Texas. Played for Sioux Falls in the American Association back in 2015. Pitched 7 innings. Just going through all the different stops he's made. He's been around. Played in the Canadian American Association. Made 32 appearances. That one chopped foul. 0-2 the count. After that, went back to the Pacific Association. He's played at all the associations.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Pacific Association.
Is that the one that Nick Batters called games for? There's some team called the Stompers or something, or the grape growers or something like that.
Let's go do some digging.
Do some digging. Why not? It's 15-1.
All right, here we go. He played for Pittsburgh, Neal.
Pittsburgh, California.
Oh, here we go.
Right?
Sonoma Stompers.
There you go. That's it.
Swing and a miss.
Great work.
First Australian punchy for Dennis Neal, and it caps a scoreless inning here in his season
That
debut.
also means superior heating and cooling in a shout-out, because that's the 10th batter struck out by Aces pitchers.
Well, we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Aces lead, or 6th inning make that. Aces lead 15-1.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.
Welcome back. Looking at the party deck there. Looks like a philosophical discussion more than a party going on up there. Debating politics or something like that. Darcy Longstaff coming on to pitch. Former Melbourne ace, 2022-2023. Pitched with the Reds rookie team the last couple of seasons. 20-year-old right-hander.
Inheriting a 15-1 deficit, but the Aces looking to just finish this ball game now at this point. Again, I'm sure for a lot of the guys, maybe just trying to finish the night on a high note. Again, I don't think any of them are not going to try, but you lead by 14. Again, you're just looking towards the finish line now at this point.
We don't want to get hurt.
Absolutely. On top of that, though, for maybe some of the guys who are in some slumps, maybe a Belvin or a Moore who've just struggled over the last couple weeks, still an opportunity to work on that timing.
Indeed.
Especially with two very important games to go. Again, if you're just tuning in, Sydney now leads 5-2 against Perth. That is huge for the Aces. As Burke sharply grounds this one to first, Wingrove stumbles over the top, and Burke just beats it out. One away. Good play from Rickson Wingrove over there at first base.
Yeah, it's a really nice play on a tricky ball, and Longstaff gets over there just ahead of Burke. Really close, but he does get there. Good call from Neil Douglas over there at first.
We'll see if the Aces are a little more aggressive early in counts, too. They've been really patient today. They've done a good job. I mean, overall, they've drawn 4 walks compared to none yesterday. But maybe it's just going up a little more aggressive to try and increase the pace of this one. 0-1 now the count. You're on Aaron Whitefield, who's had himself a night. A homer, a double. Now 47 hits for him. He's 3 away from 50. Would be the second ace to do it since the seasons were shortened to 40 games. Would be the third, actually. Both Darryl George did it and Delman Young. Young had 51 in 2019-18. George had 55 in 17-18. Of course, if you go back before that, the season was longer, so you have more at-bats and more opportunities. So the counting numbers are definitely higher. 1-1. Swing and a foul straight back. 1-2.
Did you know Delman Young pitched?
Delman Young pitched? I need to hear this.
Pitched in relief.
Oh, my gosh. What was the circumstance of that one?
Honestly, it's so long ago I can't remember. I think we probably were running out of arms or something. The game was out of control, but he came in and pitched because he'd been working on it and wanted to pitch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see that. Rounded to short. Spence vacuums it up. 2 away.
He was kind of a Greg Bird type, right? Was very serious about his hitting, very prepared, meticulous. Nice guy, but was definitely all about the game.
Absolutely.
Was really, really focused. Same as Greg Bird is always about just being focused on the game.
It's what's made him so successful. Both of them, really. Delman Young, of course, with a long big league career as well. Tigers, Orioles, plenty of teams, in fact. First pitch to Jared Dale, down and away, 1-0.
He was so much fun to call and watch, Max. I can't tell you. He's just so entertaining.
Aces have had plenty of big league players. In fact, have had a handful on this roster this season. Bird, one of them. Here's the 1-0 to Dale. 1-1. Aaron Whitefield, Sean Moramondo. Both had a couple cups of coffee in the big leagues. Jovitas Neverauskas made 76 relief appearances for the Pirates.
Yep.
between 2017 and 20. So for Neverauskas, I mean, he was a bona fide big leaguer for 4 years or so. 1-1. Grounded softly, and this could be an infield knock as it's knocked down by Longstaff, and Dale's safe at first. Infield knock for him. That's his third hit.
How about that? When it's going right, it's going right.
Get another look.
Just off the glove.
Yeah, I don't think he particularly hit it hard either.
I mean, without being uber critical, that could potentially be an error. He probably should have fielded that. It won't be, but he probably should have fielded that.
I think having to finish the delivery and then reach down quickly.
It's hard. I agree.
Well, we talked about it. Jared will have to go on a run to get to 400. We see a pinch hitter here. Here's Jack Ratcliffe into the game for Robbie Glendenning. Sends one high and to right. And Knight makes the catch to end the inning. Well, Jack Ratcliffe, a development player, into the game, so we'll get to see him swing the bat for a little bit here tonight. We head to the top of the 7th. Aces lead 15-1.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back. Beautiful night at the ballpark, especially beautiful when the Aces have a 15-1 lead. Ed White, Max Tanzer with you. South Morang Motors, by the way, features 12 top automakers, including Kia and Hyundai, as well as a high-quality selection of pre-owned vehicles and an award-winning service team. Take the stress and hassle out of selling your old car and buying a new one. Visit South Morang Motors today.
Well, we've got some history here tonight as we see the kiddos running across the diamond. The attendance announced for this one tonight here at Melbourne Ballpark, 2,614 fans. That makes this the biggest crowd in Melbourne Ballpark history.
Wow.
The second largest in Aces history. Again, the highest was 3,124, but that was at the Melbourne Showgrounds in 2011. But this is the largest crowd for a regular season game in Aces franchise history. I mean, what a night, what a performance from our entire staff. Zach Maraca working with the tickets, Justin Huber. Of course, we've got the entire team working so hard this week. And what a great showing for the final Friday night here in the regular season.
Yeah, testament to the hard work of everyone at this organization. As you mentioned, Zach and the ticket guys and girls working really, really hard.
All our volunteers.
Yep, the volunteers are great.
Melissa Orr, Luke Searle. I mean, everybody. I mean, the entire front office. I could read the entire list.
Well, you know, I can tell you, as soon as he was in the umpire trying to get the fans off the field here.
Yeah, a little bit of a delay.
As soon as you arrive at the ballpark, and I come a little bit later because I have other things, other jobs, not my full-time job. I get to the ballpark. The second you walk in, it's like a beehive of activity. Everyone's moving drinks, moving food, taking tickets, opening gates, just working on the field, of course. Mick Wern and the crew doing that. It's just, it's a team effort.
Unbelievable stuff. And they'll be enjoying a fireworks show after the game, and I'm sure they've been enjoying, at least the Aces fans in attendance. 15 runs as Dennis Neal comes out for his second inning of work. Here's Nico Pulsizer to lead things off. 7 and 8 to up here for the Giants as that first pitch is taken down and away, ball one.
And Jack Ratcliffe has stayed in the game and playing right field for Robbie Glendenning.
Good opportunity for the development player.
Indeed.
1-1. Of course, future mainstay for the Aces, I'm sure, the next couple years as he continues to get older. Again, still a teenager. course, a local Melbourne product. We saw him actually get some starts at shortstop in round 3 versus Sydney. That was when Jared Dale was banged up a bit. Holsizer sends this to deep left center field. Whitefield back. Track. Wall. He leaps. Did he make the catch? No, just out of his reach. And Holsizer picks up a homer. That's got to feel good on what's been a tough night for him. His 7th of the season, and Adelaide on the board for the first time since the first.
Yeah, that's got to make him feel better. That's a way to come back from a rough night. Leave with some positivity.
So leadoff homer for Holsizer. Here's Briley Knight. Oh, man. So close right there for Whitefield. First pitch. Chopped to the right side. McCullough's got it. The quick release. One away.
That's a way to come back, Dennis Neal.
No one up at the Aces pen, so of course this is Neal's inning to finish, and maybe he'll get a little bit more. Here's another look at the Holsizer homer. Sent this one up towards the moon as the sun is just completely set. You can see Burke back, but here's Whitefield, who had to track the entire way.
He did.
Right by the light and easy sign.
Oh.
Wasn't an easy catch to potentially make, I'll tell you that. Here's Nikao Akagrego. First pitch is in there for a strike. Or excuse me, I believe we have a pinch hitter here in fact.
Take a look.
Wearing number 45. We do not have a 45 on our roster, do we? Next pitch, upstairs. Count evens up at 1-1.
No, I don't have a 45 on the roster, so maybe.
Am I in the wrong spot in my scorebook?
That's a great question. No, it's Poaka Grego.
1-1 is taken down low. 2-1.
But you're right, he was wearing 3.
It could still be Poaka Grego.
Yeah.
Well, apologies to that. Two 1.
Oh.
Upstairs, 3-1.
15-2 now, the score. Perth still trailing Sydney 5-2.
Haters count. Here's the 3-1. Fisted to first. Bird steps back, plays it on the hop. Neal covering. Good athlete.
Nice.
2 away. It was fun coming to the ballpark today, or yesterday it was, when both the new players arrived, Wes DeYoung and Dennis Neal. I saw Neal come in, and I think it was his son who was with him. And that's a fun moment. Again,
that's great.
Get to see your dad play some professional baseball at a big ballpark and a big crowd. Hopefully he's watching on from the stands here tonight. Here's Louis Albrecht. First bench. Up and away, 1-0. Hopped up first base side. Bird giving it a look, running out of room. It's out of play. Count evens up. Max Tanzer here, joined alongside Ed Neal. Thank you so much. Or Ed Wyatt, excuse me.
I'm not pitching.
Yes.
Dennis Neal.
Hey, you have those rings. I thought you were a player. 1-1. Lined out to left. That's a base hit for Albrecht, his second of the day. Second hit of the inning for Adelaide. The 2-out base runner as the lineup flips over for Nick Ward. Well, Ed Wyatt alongside Max Tanzer here alongside Ed Wyatt. Goodness. As we thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll be back at it tomorrow as well for Saturday Night Baseball, and then Sunday afternoon, the regular season finale, and the Aces hoping their season doesn't end on Sunday. Adelaide already knows they'll be
who
playing
knows what's
going to
happen. Sorry, Max, didn't mean to talk over you. Who knows what's going to be tomorrow and Sunday? Just don't know.
Strike called to Ward, 0-1. And the Aces, even if everything goes in their favor tonight, still need to take care of business themselves.
Yep.
Albrecht not being held on at first. Again, we mentioned that with the big lead. No reason to do so. Oh, 1 from Neal. breaking ball chopped up the line, 0-2. It is an advantage, too. I mean, if you're just trying to get through this game as quickly as you can, Bird has more range playing back behind the bag instead of holding the runner on. It'll be interesting to see who starts the rest of this series for the Aces. You had Tripp in Game 1, Steele in Game 2. Again, Sean Moramondo's unavailable after signing his CPBL contract for the upcoming season. There's a couple of directions the Aces could go. Steve Kent was used in relief yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
0-2. Bounce straight back. Count still holds. Jack Fox is definitely a candidate, if not for tomorrow, then Sunday. Maybe he gets the start tomorrow, and then you see where you're at on Sunday, potentially.
Well, we were talking about it last night. I think you have to front load. You can't save anything for Sunday. You need to get those wins. So even if you run out and have to throw somebody who isn't used to throwing on Sunday, you have to do that.
0-2 is popped up on the infield. Dale's got it to end the inning. Dennis Neal gets through his second frame of the night. It's time to stretch here at Melbourne Ballpark. 15-2 Aces as we head to the bottom half of the seventh.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
You can hear that loud crowd singing Sweet Caroline here in the bottom of the seventh inning. A crowd of 2,614, the largest in Melbourne Ballpark history and the most in a regular season game for the Aces ever. Just about, 600 shy or so of their all-time record in the postseason game. Not here at this ballpark.
That is a huge crowd.
The expectations were high coming in, and they've been exceeded. What a great atmosphere here. Well, we head to the bottom of the seventh inning. The Aces will send up 4, 5, and 6. Greg Bird will lead things off here against Longstaff. Adelaide pushed across a run back in the seventh inning. That was on the leadoff homer from Nico Holsizer. His seventh of the season, back in the lineup after not being on the roster in round 9 versus Brisbane last week. Take a look at Jack Enciando getting heated up. Likely will get the 8th for the Aces. First pitch to Bird. Driven high in the air down the right field line. Got in on his hands. Knight into the corner and foul ground. Reaches up for out number 1.
Yeah, nice play from Riley Knight out there.
Makes way to Darryl George. The theme of swinging at the first pitch continues for the Aces. Canberra leading Brisbane 5-1. That in the top of the 5th. Sydney still leading Perth 5-2. That in the bottom of the 7th. George having a good night. He's reached base all 4 times. Really should have 2 hits. One was taken away on the 9-6 fielder's choice. Also singled back in the 6th. First pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1. His last hit was number 371 in his career, one away from tying his team Australian teammate Logan Wade for second all-time in modern ABL history. 0-1. Down and away. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1. Strike called. 1-2. Well, let's take a look at how many times Adelaide has even allowed more than 10 runs. We mentioned they entered tonight leading the league in ERA. Strikeouts, had the fewest walks. 1-2. Hopped up first base side out of Wingrove's reach and out of play. Count still holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just missed the party deck. In fact, I kind of think there might be an E puffer vest on that one.
Yes. Put it in your scorecard, right? 1-2 the count on George. Pitch is popped foul. He stays alive.
Another good at-bat from Darryl.
Well, I'm looking through it, Ed. So far, I've only seen them having allowed 10 or more runs once. That was against Perth in round 3, an 11-3 loss. SB! 1-2. Popped up, shallow center. Carr sprinting in to make the catch, 2 away. That is the only time. So this is a season high in runs allowed by this Adelaide pitching staff, 15. Again, they also committed 4 errors, so plenty of those runs unearned tonight. In fact, only 9 of the 15 are earned. And just the second time they've allowed 10 or more. I mean, what an offensive showing from the Aces tonight against such a difficult pitching staff. And garnered once Bradwell has left the game. They're not facing the highest leverage relievers, because that one's spiked. 1 ball, no strikes. But even to do it against Bradwell, who has been really good in his first 3 starts of the year after pitching in a bulk roll out of the bullpen. In his final line, 2 2/3, 9 runs, just 4 of them are. 1-0 the count on McCullough, who's tacked up 3 hits tonight. Inside, 2-0.
So he's over 500 now, right? For that little period you mentioned.
7-game hit streak, yes. 12 for his last 23.
Oh, so yeah.
Even if he gets out here, he'll still be at 500. 2-1 the count. I wonder if he's chatting with Louis Albrecht back there behind the plate. We talked to Louis for the game. Said, I don't think he mentioned that they had known each other personally, but of course McCullough a little bit older. Albrecht 23. McCullough in his upper 20s.
A couple of Seattle guys.
2-1s down low. Hitters count at 3-1. Logan Moore on deck. 3-1. Lined and past Wingrove. Another base hit. McCullough with an aggressive turn. He'll hold there. A 4-hit game. I mean, you just can't get him out. What is that now? 13 for his last 24 over the last 7 games.
That is unbelievable how he's hitting.
So quietly, he has just been tearing the cover off the baseball. By the way, for the Aces now, that's 15 hits. Their season high 17. That was back here at home versus Perth in round 4. First pitch to Moore. Take it for a strike, 0-1.
I've got 16 on my scorecard, but that doesn't mean it's right.
Well, I'll keep refreshing the official score, and we'll see.
I've got 16. Who knows?
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
I'd have to double check it. I've got things scratched out, moved innings along.
I believe it is 15 hits. The official ABL site has McCullough with 4 knocks and the Aces with 15. But
so maybe missing an error in there somewhere.
0-2. Popped up. Third baseman Ward was shading, but it's down to play.
I am missing an error. I think I've got 3 errors and they have 4. So perhaps I gave someone a hit that did not deserve that hit, or didn't get one from the scorer. So I'll go back and look at it. I'll go back and look at it tomorrow. That's what I do. I go through and match up what the official line is with my scribbled nonsense.
It looks like a painting when you just slapped a bunch of paint on it.
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, but it's still a classic, a beauty. 1-2 now to count on Logan Moore. I mean, this whole season for the Aces has been back and forth.
Yeah.
So many ups and downs. Swing at a foul tip. Albrecht couldn't hold on. Count still holds at 1-2.
There haven't been many dull moments. I will say that.
That's true, especially over the last couple weeks. But I mean, you even go back. Round 4 against Perth, you sweep it.
Crazy.
Here at home, they hit, 11 homers or something like that? And then they go back on the road, and that was the big story in the first half. They really struggled away from Melbourne Ballpark. 1-2. Outside. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, seems like it was forever ago when Arturo Diesla was pacing the lead in homers, right? And it seemed that he was on his way to a potential Helms Award, and then he did have to head back home to get ready for a season in the Texas Rangers organization. The run that Chris Burke has gone on. 2-2 inside, and that may have gotten a piece of Moore, and it did. He's saying it didn't, or I've never seen that before. 3-2. Didn't the home plate umpire Ichikawa put up both hands? We got to get another look right here.
I think it just missed him.
All right. 3-2 the count, 2 down, so McCullough will take off. Payoff. Up and away, ball 4.
He took off very slowly, which is in keeping with a sort of sense of where the game is at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. Again, sort of a unwritten rule. You're not going to try and push for any extra bases. You're not going to try and do those little things.
It's not like an SEC football game where they just pile the points on and go, well, you should have had a better defense then.
Yes.
Should have stopped us.
Or you have to bid for a subjective playoff spot or something like that. Yeah. There, every point or every score matters as Delbin takes the strike 0-1. The committee, right?
Yeah, the committee.
Take a look at Sydney now leading 7-2 in the bottom of the 7th. So
that's good.
They're now 6 outs away from doing the Aces a huge favor here tonight.
Maybe send them a big fruit basket or something?
Yeah, right? Some banana bread? I see banana bread everywhere here in Melbourne. Is banana bread a big thing?
I saw it a lot in Portland, so I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad
No,
judge.
I've seen it in America, too.
I don't know.
I get it every day, and that's no exaggeration, from the same stop at the train station. But in every single store, cafe, whatever it might be, there's always banana bread, like, at the front of the display. It's really good. 1-1 to Belbin. Popped up. Wingrove into foul ground.
Oh.
Did he make the catch? We can't see from our angle, and he did. Look at that. Just had enough room, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, 2 runners left. We'll get a look at our monitor right here, Ed, and yes, he just had a couple inches to make that catch right in front of a couple fans. That'll do it for the 7th. We head to the top of the 8th. Aces lead 15-2.
Our centres are equipped to handle the most ambitious printing projects, backed by a dedicated team of over 70 full-time staff. We specialise in a wide range of print formats, from billboards and banners to retail and events. We deliver impactful solutions that stand out in any environment. Our commitment to excellence includes continuous investment in cutting-edge technology, ensuring precision, speed and reliability. This allows us to tackle even the most complex printing requirements with ease. Dream, design, deliver. Partner with Omnigraphics for your next printing project.
Gentlemen, you are a part of it. 2,614 here at the ballpark tonight. Fantastic work. Thank you for your support.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. As you can take a look, 2,614 fans in attendance. It's the largest for a regular season game in Aces history, and it's the largest here in this very building at Melbourne Ballpark as well. A big tip of the cap to all of the fans here as we get a look at our play of the game, brought to you by Aces Sporting Club. This was all the way back. Maybe felt like the morning in the second inning. A 3-run shot from Logan Moore, his second of the season, that gave the Aces a 3-1 lead and opened up the floodgates. They now lead 15-2. Gets the big high five from his fellow catcher, Mitch Edwards. Polaroid action as well. Again, Logan Moore with a 3-run shot. That's your play of the game, brought to you by Aces Sporting Club, a premium golf practice facility based in Altona, right here in Melbourne's western suburbs. They host birthdays, engagements, key milestones, and more. For more info, visit acessportingclub.com.au. She's having a good night. Got the big hoodie on, enjoying the chilly weather. There's some maybe baseball players down there, some youngsters enjoying the ball game
in the house tonight. We do have a new pitcher we should mention, Jack Enciando. He's been around for a while, in and out of the Aces lineup and on and off the roster. He's in tonight here in the 8th inning.
Liam Spence to lead it off, and he takes up and in ball 1.
Nice job by Dennis Neal, by the way. Couple innings pitched, only gave up 2 hits. Did give up that home run, but 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Held the fort very well.
He did, and I mean, talk about making your Aces debut, and it kind of goes unnoticed a little bit, but provided a couple of huge innings. It did so quickly. Take it for a strike at the top of the zone, 1-2. And being told he used to play for the Morwell Cougars Baseball Club in Latrobe Valley Baseball Association.
Out to the east.
Another
Gippsland.
association. That's 4 associations we've connected with him today. 1 in Canada, 2 in America, and then 1 here in Australia. For Enciando, this is his second appearance and first all the way since round 1. In the 3rd game of that series versus Canberra, went 2 innings, 1 run. So talk about bookending your season. 1 start in round 1, or 1 outing in round 1, and 1 appearance in round 10. But again, trying to pick up the final 6 outs here for the Aces and save some of the other arms for the final 2 days. 2-2s outside. 3-2. Talking about some of the other scores around the league, we've been keeping you updated. This one lined right to George at third, protecting his teeth right there. 1 away. Looked like it hooked right in front of his face. Sometimes that topspin can fool you. He's experienced over there.
Hit hard. He's just been so good in the field in the past
really dependable
few games. Just remarkable.
Here's Jared Carr. Extended his hit streak up to 15 games as he takes outside for a strike, 0-1.
I didn't mean that to sound like I was surprised that Darryl was doing that. He has been so good.
0-1 chopped up the line. Just foul 0-2. Canberra currently leading Brisbane 5-1. That's in the top 6 against Sydney up 7-2, going into the top of the 8th. (0-2) from Enciando. Breaking ball, a big one, north to south, but a little bit low, 1-2.
Now those games are in Sydney, right, where they are very good.
Yeah, for those who are just catching up, Perth took a 2-0 lead in the top of the first, have been held scoreless since. 7 unanswered runs for Sydney as this one's lofted out to right. Jack Radcliffe getting tested for the first time in the game. Into the game for Robbie Glendening. He makes the catch for the second out.
Good stuff.
He should get an AB later in the 8th inning. Again, it's Burke, Whitefield, and Dale due up, and if one of them could reach, Ratcliffe would get another at bat. He flew out to right on the first pitch he saw earlier when he pinch hit for Glendening. Here's Wingrove. First pitch from Enciando. Fouled straight back.
Big cut there from Wingrove. Big cut from the big man.
He's over 2. He's familiar with this ballpark. Was with Team Australia, right, for the Hanwha games last year?
Yes. Indeed, fan just hit that ball off the net down to the field, so there's a quick timeout. Yes, he did play in that series.
Maybe we'll see him again in a couple weeks in February. 0-1. Strike called 0-2 again. That series gets underway in literally a month. Today, January 17th, February 14th, 15th, and 16th for the International Baseball Showdown. 0-2 is pounded out to second. McCullough's got it with plenty of time. Throws over to end the inning. 1-2-3 frame for Jack Enciando as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Melbourne holding on to a 15-2 lead.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Well, Melbourne Ballpark will be the home of spring training for the Hanwha Eagles of the Korean Baseball Organization. They'll be here February 14th, 15th, and 16th to take on Team Australia for the International Baseball Showdown. Guess who's on the mound right now, Ed?
I know it's not a pitcher.
It's Rickson Wingrove.
No, it's Jordan McArdle, isn't it? Is it McArdle or Wingrove?
I believe it's Wingrove, number 52 on his back.
Yes.
And we have a new first baseman into the game. Diego Gonzalez into the game over at first base.
You're right.
And he just lobs an Ethos up there for strike one.
Oh, no.
This is
my
great.
Word.
Pitches looped out to third. Tricky hop for Ward. The throw not in time. Infield single for Burke.
I almost feel bad for Wingrove on that one.
Well, let's see. Has Wingrove ever made an appearance before in his ABL career? Here's Aaron Whitefield. A couple Team Australian mates facing off. Again, for those who don't know or are maybe not as familiar in a game as big as this one, there's no reason for Adelaide to burn a high leverage arm. So instead, you just go to a position player to save
Delman Young, right?
That's right.
That's what we
I mean, this
about.
is the equivalent, right?
I will say Delman had a little more on the ball here than Wingrove.
Whitefield playing softball. He's got plenty of experience. He gets this one down off the wall. Burke into third. Whitefield will trot into second. A double, and the Aces, well, they're swinging it well still. Second and third here with nobody out. That literally looked like a backyard softball swing. Swinging down on top of it.
Oh, boy.
Here's Jared Dale. Jared has picked up 3 hits in his last 3 at-bats.
Now, can you imagine the stick that Dale will get if after the night he's having, he grounds out from Wixon Wingrove?
Hey, you know what? He picked up an RBI. Give him his 16th of this season. First out for Wingrove. That's his first out retired as a pitcher here this season. Let's see. He has not ever pitched in the ABL. So here we go. We're seeing the
debut.
Absolutely. History. Here's Jack Radcliffe. Well, I'll tell you what. He's playing for something here. Radcliffe with just a handful of at-bats. Of course, a development player, which means he's a local kid here from Melbourne. Into the game with a big lead. That one taken upstairs, 1-1. Just 18 years old. And this one means something to him, even if it is against a position player. He's now 1 for 7 this year. 2-1. He's pitching around him.
You're going to get to play in an Aces game, but you're going to face Rickson Wingrove, who's lobbing them in.
I'll tell you what, it's almost harder to hit a pitch that slow.
It is weird, isn't it?
Well, it's coming in at that very high descent, too.
Which Whitefield had no problem with it at all.
No surprise. 3-1. Pops it up down the left field line. Long way to go for Holsizer. It's out of his reach, 3-2.
Keeps him alive. It's good. Got a chance here. I just want to see Greg Bird hit. He's on deck.
Right?
I want to see Bird hit against this.
Look at that, 64 miles an hour. He's rushing it up there. 3-2. Ratcliffe lines it to left. It's down for a hit. To third is Whitefield. There you go, Jack Ratcliffe. Your first hit here as a Melbourne Ace at home. Runners at the corners with one down.
And no one will say it came against Rickson Wingrove.
Right? Look at this. Look at the north to south break on that pitch. Sits back and hooks it in the left. Here's Greg Bird now. Heavyweight battle, and he rolls it to second. Could be 2. 4-6-3 to end the inning.
There we go.
Well, Rickson Wingrove only allows 1 in his debut on the mound. Just rushing it up there with that heater. We head to the top of the 9th. 60-2 Aces. Adelaide down to their final 3 outs.
U Blinds Australia's once-a-year stock take sale is on now. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Shutters, security, curtains, zip screens and all other products. Don't miss out.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Top of the 9th inning, the Aces 3 outs away from a pivotal win. They lead 60-2, so plenty of insurance as Jack Encianda throws his warm-up tosses. Again, the score in Sydney. 8-2 Blue Sox, meaning if that score holds, they're in the top of the 8th. Perth would lose, and the Aces, with a win tonight, would move into a tie for the final postseason position, and the Aces have the tiebreaker, meaning they would have that final spot with 2 games to go.
Yeah, and we were just discussing in the break, it's probably more likely that Sydney gets over Perth than Brisbane gets over Canberra. Now, I know Brisbane are hot and Canberra are cold, but Canberra are a better team.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Canberra still leading in their ball game. That one's, of course, over in Brisbane. 5-1 that score after they lost 1-0. Brisbane back on the board, in fact, though. Bottom 6 now 5-2 Cavalry.
All right.
So who knows?
Hey.
Again, the Aces just need to outplay either one of Perth or Canberra to get in. They won't be at home. That's out of the picture, at least for the first round. But they're just trying to get a ticket to the dance. Here's McGardo to lead it off against Enciando, and the first pitch is taken down low, ball 1. Here's something interesting, too. The Aces, with 3 games to go, 3 games under. This one's cracked out to center. It's deep. Whitefield back, looking up. It's off the batter's eye and gone. Jordan McArdle launches his 5th homer of the season. That's the 3rd homer of the night for Adelaide, and it's 16-3 here in the 9th.
Yeah, you gave him a pitch that he likes to hit. No problem at all clearing that fence. Look at the power on that guy.
It's a big man, and he sent that one quickly out to straightaway center, the deepest part of the ballpark.
Speaking of home runs, here comes Holsizer, home at his last time.
That's right. Just got it out of Whitefield's reach in deep left center field. First pitch, a strike, 0-1. Now, we were mentioning the Aces, if they win out, at best, could finish 500. But you know what? If that gets you into the postseason, it gets you into the postseason.
It does.
Down low. Count evens up at 1-1. Joey Steele in line for the win would be his second. We are hoping to speak to him post-game today. So after the fireworks show, after first pitch, or after the last pitch, make sure to stick around him. We'll be joined by Joey, the player of the game, and we'll give you all the updates and a recap of this one. And I'll tell you, it'll be a long one. 16 runs, 19 in total from both sides to go over. 1-2. Down and away, counting it up. I wonder how long it's taken our Sportscast Australia team to put together that recap package. I don't think they're going to use every run, and I don't blame them. 2-2. Hopped up, out of play, count home. So again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We know it's been a long one. We know it's been a fun one. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, 7 p.m. for the final night game of the regular season, and then we close things out in the regular campaign on Sunday.
Going to be a little hotter the next couple of days. That's it hard.
Holsizer finishing his night with a positive mark as he doubles into the corner and left. Back-to-back plate appearances with extra base hits. So a double for Holsizer after the homer to McArdle.
It's been a funny night, hasn't he? 2 strikeouts, home run and a double, a couple of missed plays in the outfield, one nice play on a foul ball.
Here's Briley Knight. Upstairs 1-0. Again, unless things really get out of hand, the Aces will more than likely ride with Enciando here no matter what happens, even if Adelaide tacks on a couple. Again, it's important that he gets the final 3 outs to make sure they don't burn another arm for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
Enciando currently looking for his first out. He won't get it here as Knight drops this one in for a base hit. Holsizer advances to third. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
3 quick hits. Need an out here.
Yeah, and it was a quick and good start for Enciando in the 8th. Set down the side 1-2-3. Nico Puaka-Grego. Holsizer at third, Knight at first. Aces up by 13, a season high 16 runs tonight as this is grounded to Bird. Enciando covering. A run will score, but they'll take the out. 4th run of the night for Adelaide, an RBI for Puaka-Grego. That's his 15th. Holsizer scores from third. Aces 2 away from big win tonight.
Yeah, smart play from Greg Bird there. Just get the easy out. Run doesn't matter.
You almost think about going for 2, but instead just take that sure out, especially after 3 consecutive hits.
Correct.
Here's Luby Albrecht, the catcher. It's been a long one for him behind the plate tonight. And again, after Luis Kaikuto that got banged up yesterday, it could be Albrecht catching the rest of the series. And we're not 100% sure, but he's battled back there tonight. That one misses outside. 2-0. Had a good night offensively, too. 2 hits.
Probably I'm going to have to ask him what it was like catching Rickson Wingrove.
Oh, yes. Go from Esteban Jimenez to Rickson Wingrove.
That's a very good point.
Fastballs with a differential of 30 miles an hour.
To 64.
95 to 64. Oy, oy, oy. 3-0 the count. Pitch. Inside ball 4. Albrecht reaches for the 3rd time tonight. And here's Nick Ward, top of the order for Adelaide. Aces had 1 position player pitch this year. That was Mitch Edwards in Perth a couple weeks ago. He threw a scoreless inning in that one. A lot of times it is the backup catchers. It was fun to see Wingrove here tonight. Down low, 1-0. Pitch from Enciando. Grounded is short, could be two. Dale, McCullough, Bird, ball game. Aces win 16-4, and if the score in Sydney holds, they'll enter tomorrow night in a playoff spot with 2 games to go. Time to shoot off those fireworks as the playoff race gets a little bit hotter here at Melbourne Ballpark. A Melbourne Ballpark record 2,614 fans on hand here for this Friday night explosion as the Aces score a season-high 16 runs. What a night. 15 make that. Or 16. We're going to step aside. Fireworks will be launching quickly here, and then Joey Steele will join us after this. Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Quite a fireworks show down over the center field wall. It was quite a fireworks show. On the offensive side of things for the Aces tonight, they win this one by a final score of 16-4 to move to 18-20 on the season. Meanwhile, Adelaide falls to 21-16. And I'll tell you what, Ed, as long as that Sydney score holds, it couldn't have gone better for the Aces tonight.
Yeah, it was a remarkable effort on so many levels. And the crowd's starting to file out. Just remarkable. The huge crowd that we saw here tonight really got a show. And you can see them there starting to file out this fireworks exhibition. And I think we're going to try and get Joey Steele mic'd up here.
I believe we're joined by Joey Steele right now. Joey, can you hear us down there?
I'm here. I can hear you.
Look at that. There's your winning pitcher for tonight's game. 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. And Joey, I mean, you start the night giving off the leadoff homer, and then you were untouchable for the rest of the night. What was working through you all night long?
Well, I mean, for me, it was just being able to command 3 pitches and throw them for strikes and keep them off balance all day.
Just sounds that simple, Joey. Made it sound easy. The run support, of course.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, Logan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Logan hits
awesome.
the 3 run, and then it's an explosion after that.
It was a great team win, So.
Have you ever struck out 9 hitters in the game before? I know you haven't started since high school.
I think I have 10 in high school. I think since high school, that's the most I've had.
Something we were talking about throughout the game, too, is, again, with you don't have as much experience throwing over 60, 70 pitches, so you have a really lengthy first inning, and then you're able to really hone things in throughout the rest of the game. You finish the night with over 85 pitches. I mean, what's the transition moving into the rotation and into a starting role like for you?
It's been, I feel like, it's been relatively easy with the build-up. Today, my goal was to go 5, and that's what I did. So I'm really happy with how it went, and obviously it's a great team win and some good momentum going into the weekend.
You got to talk to those guys about leaving you alone when you're down there getting interviewed, throwing stuff on you. But
I know.
I guess
first interview. This is fun. I don't do this very often, so.
And then 2,614 fans here at the ballpark tonight. That's the most ever in this ballpark's history. I mean, how did it feel to pitch in front of a big crowd like this?
I mean, it's awesome. So when you can get a crowd like this, it's awesome. It's really fun, and you just feed off it. So it was incredible.
Well, Joey, you seem like a natural down there with the mic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
You too. Enjoy
Thanks,
this
Joey.
one. Again, 5 innings, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts for Joey Steele tonight. He was absolutely tremendous. He earns his 2nd win of the season at that as well. It doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I think he was a little bit overwhelmed, when we were interviewing him there. I said he doesn't do that often. But, as a relief pitcher, you probably don't. But, wow, what a night for him.
Let's go through this game and recap it for you. Here was that leadoff homer from Nick Ward, sending a high drive just inside the pull and right. And really, this would be the only offensive production for Adelaide up until the late innings.
Yeah, and like I said, we didn't say this, but I think people go, oh, here we go again, a slow start from the Aces. Logan Moore said something about that.
2 runners on, and he blasts a 3-run shot out to right center field for his 2nd round tripper of the season. That would give the Aces a 3-1 lead, a lead bigger than any that they had last night.
Huge hit, a huge hit in the scheme of things.
And it was just getting started after that. Here's Steele on the mound, picking up a couple more strikeouts. He would end up punching out 9. Aaron Whitefield digs to the plate to lead off the 3rd, and he sends a double to right for his 300th career hit. And little did we know, this was the start of an absolute offensive outburst. The Aces would send 10 batters to the plate in this inning, and we'll go through a little bit of it here. Here's Jared Dale coming up, and he sends this soft squibber underneath the glove of Nick Ward, and there's no question Aaron Whitefield is scoring once it touches the green. That would give the Aces a 4-1 lead. At that point, you're feeling mighty good, but they just kept things going. Later in the frame, it would be Greg Bird to step to the plate, and I mean, he has been doing a little bit of everything all season long. sends this one up the middle into right center field for a knock. That would bring the runner over to third base. That's Dale, and sets up a first and third spot with one away in that inning. Then Darryl George sends this soft little flare to right. It does result in a 9-6 fielder's choice, but you give George the RBI. That's his 20th of the season. Dale comes in to score from third. Morgan McCullough, I mean, can we talk enough about him? He has been so good. He picked up 4 hits today. He shoots this into center field for a base hit. That would load the bases, and here it is one more time.
Just a lazy 4-hit night.
Right, just a soft little server to right. Jared Belbin entered 0 for his last 14. Well, not anymore after this. A 2-run single to right that brings home 2 more runs. That's George and McCullough, and it makes it 7-1 Aces. But things just keep going. This is where it really got crazy. Chris Burke sends this one up in the air into that wind, and Nico Holsizer can't field it cleanly off the heel of his glove.
That needed a soundtrack.
It clears the bases for the Aces. George in the third, and that would make it a 9-1 game. It was a tough night out there.
That was crazy, wasn't it? Yeah.
And we'll give him a little bit of a break with the sun in his eyes and the wind. It's a tough one to pick up.
It is.
Here's Steele again in the teeth of that lineup, and he picks up a big strikeout right there against McArdle. That was his 7th, then his 8th to Holsizer. That would end the 4th inning. Jared Dale then leads off the bottom of the frame. A deep drive out to left, way back off of one of the, what would you call that, containers out there over the wall in left field. Good for Dale's 3rd homer. He started the night 0 for 2, Ed, and finished with 3 hits. That's how crazy the back half of this game was. Another look at it one more time, running right in on his hands, kept his hands inside of it. Again, picking up what was the 2nd home run at the time on the night for the Aces. There's the Polaroid Dale and Moore getting caught up with Mitch Edwards over there. Here's Logan Moore now out to Holsizer again, and we mentioned it, really struggling tonight and just whiffs on this one. That brings across Glendenning the score. At this point, the Aces have hit double digits. And then 5th inning, Steele induces a fly ball to center field, and this is off the bat of Albrecht, and it's off the wall. He did stumble a little bit, but recovered, so that's a 2-out double. Steele was just looking to get through 5 innings, and he does so. Freezes Nick Ward with a backdoor breaking ball and picks up his 9th strikeout. He said his goal was to get through 5, and he did just that. Aaron Whitefield comes to the plate. This one leads off the 6th. A laser beam solo shot out to center field for his 2nd hit of the night. 5th homer of the season. Good to see him getting things back in the plus column after going 0 for 5 last night.
That's a big hit. He just really powered that over the fence.
Just snuck it over, too. It was more of a line drive that just kept backspinning over the head of Carr in center field. Well, the Aces would add on more in this inning as you see Whitefield come across the plate. That was the 3rd homer of the night for the Aces, their last one. But 3 homers of the night, you'll take it any day of the week. Greg Bird up to the plate with Dale on first base, and look at this double. He just sends a ground ball to short through a vacant left side. Again, Adelaide was shifting their infielders all night. It gets all the way to the wall, and Jared Dale is able to score all the way from first base. Give Greg Bird 27 runs batted in on the season. He leads the ABL in that category. Well, it's 15-1 at that point, and Dennis Neal making his ABL debut tossed a scoreless 6, but Nico Holsizer gets one back right here, just out of the reach of Aaron Whitefield. That is Holsizer's 7th home run of the season, would give Adelaide their 2nd run. Here in the 9th inning, Jack Enciando on the mound. Jordan McArdle charges it up to center, again, just out of Whitefield's reach. McArdle launches his 5th homer of the season. That would give Adelaide their 3rd run of the night. And then look at this. Off the bat of Puaka Grego, a 6-4-3 double play. As easy as that to seal the ball game. Aces score a season-high 16 runs. They win it 16-4. Pick up their 18th win of the season. As you can see, it's a party up the first base line. As there is your final line.
Look at that.
18 hits for the Aces, by the way. That also is a season best. It was previously 17 versus Perth here at home in round 4. Currently, Sydney and Perth. Sydney won 8-2. So officially, the Heat and the Aces are tied for the 4th and final playoff spot. The Aces have the tiebreaker, so they are officially back in the playoff spot with 2 games to go. Meanwhile, Brisbane and Canberra, that one's getting tighter. Canberra currently leads 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th. It can only help the Aces if the Bandits are able to come back.
So that means now, Max, essentially, if the Aces win Saturday and Sunday, they're in.
They're in. They control their own destiny.
Exactly. Now back to controlling the destiny.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it for us here from Melbourne Ballpark. We're back on the airwaves tomorrow at 6:50 for the Brick Lane pregame show. If you haven't gotten a chance to get out to the ballpark, make sure you do. You're running out of time. Just 2 home games left in the regular season. Tomorrow at 7, Sunday afternoon at 1. A big thank you to our Sportscast Australia crew. For Ed White, I'm Max Tanzer. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. The Aces are back in a playoff spot with 2 to go. They win this one 16-4. Have a great rest of your night.
This broadcast is powered by Sportscast Australia.